Hey guys, welcome back. It's almost time for the big one. It's going to be something quite special. White Rabbit Gaming versus xTc. White Rabbit Gaming currently have a 1-game advantage here at the VS Gaming Masters Final. We are going to be joined this time by none other than Ridit. Ridit, welcome to the panel. Of course, as usual, Reigns. I kind of feel like I've introduced you enough to say like sup.
So many times.
Yeah, sup friend, how's it going?
Hashtag no bias.
We'll see as we go through things to see if that is the case. Of course, it's been a fantastic event so far, and none of this would be possible, in fact, without this fantastic venue. So I do think it's pretty important that we once again just mention that we are, of course, here at the VS Gaming Studios. It's a pretty sweet spot, I won't lie. And of course, we have a nice little video just to show you the venue and how it all looks. So as you go through, I can tell you that the production levels, the effort that has been put in behind the scenes from all the guys has been absolutely excellent, and I think it shows. We've really had a very, very good experience with, everything from the food, which we have made jokes about, but to the more finer things like just the guys sitting behind the production desk being always willing to help, always happy to play around a bit with us and get involved in that tomfoolery, and of course, the teams themselves, they've been very receptive, very warm. I think they've been great to have here in person.
Sorry, I've completely didn't listen to you at all. I was just looking at that clip. That was actually pretty sweet.
That was nice. You got to see all the behind the scenes footage.
So sorry, can you just repeat everything you said now?
No.
Okay.
With the video running again.
With the video running again.
Take two. No, please not.
Cut!
So I do of course want to, I do think it's important that we just spend a moment to discuss how we got here, because although we are here to celebrate our finalists, let's not forget the fallen. And of course, the first team that we said goodbye to during this event was obviously Mythic. Now, I know that Mythic have endeared themselves to us in this tournament.
Yes.
I think, Reddit, you seem to speak most passionately about them during the break, so
I mean,
give us your thoughts.
VS now having the whole wildcard thing coming in, where in like previous tournaments or like previous years, you couldn't qualify for these events. Now they've opened that up to have your Masters teams, but then also giving these up-and-coming teams, these teams that can perform at this level, the opportunity to prove themselves. And to be honest, even though Mythic was one of the first teams or the first team to drop out, I really feel that they proved themselves. They went through the qualifiers, and just having a look at how much fun they were having playing here, they knew, listen, they weren't at this level yet, but they still made it. They made it. Sure, they got dropped out early, but at the end of the day, they were hugging each other. They were shouting. They were laughing. They had a ball. They had the time of their lives here, and they gained a lot of experience. And I think that is what it's about. That is what the whole wildcard slot is supposed to be about, giving these teams the opportunity to actually play at this level if they prove themselves worthy.
Yeah, that actually showed a huge capability. That making it to the Masters alone, and also, as you said, the great sportsmanship was there, and also, Mythic as a brand showed South Africa, what they're capable of, and how anybody can do it if they have the passion for it.
Yep. I think that's the big thing as well. When you start on the isolation and you go, well, the side got knocked out without winning a game, you go, who are they really? But the reality of the situation is they fought to be here. They really battled.
I wish there was a montage of that, because it was a showdown. It really, really was.
And it isn't easy. I want to tell you guys that there are some pretty tough contenders that are waiting in the depth of Premier Division. So it's not an easy feat to get up here. And I'm sure for a lot of you who may be watching who have some, I guess VS Gaming teams that are, trying to build their way up to that next division, you probably know how it feels where there's that one guy that's ahead of you that consistently beats you. You just can't quite, get up to that next level. And I can say that there are guys like that, just like that are sort of in the way of all these teams trying to get there, but you can. If you commit enough time and you put in the hours, you can be the next Mythic Gaming. And I think that's a really important sort of point to leave this off, is that these guys may not be the present, if you would, but they probably are the future. And I do think that, although Wilson said it somewhat, I do sort of be theatrical about it, saying that in 2019 this would be a team that is going to win Masters.
Yeah.
I tell you what, there's some very talented young men there, and I think that in 2019 we'll probably be used to seeing Mythic Gaming at these Masters.
And just last thing is also giving the younger teams experience on this kind of stage a lot earlier then giving them this kind of experience only later, once they've qualified for Masters, once they've been performing, and then throwing them in this kind of like setup, this kind of scenario, then you literally dump them in deep waters. Whereas with this, you're actually giving them a taste. You're telling them this is how it is, this is how it feels like to actually play at an event like this, and giving them that experience from as early on as possible, so that when they are in that middle stage of Masters, they are already used to these booths, this live event, this kind of pressure. And I think that's a big, big, big thing, which no one's really spoken about.
When you say pressure, these guys handle it like champs. I mean, they Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the VS Gaming panel here just before the grand finals of VS Gaming Masters, of course, between White Rabbit Gaming as well as xTc. It's been a fantastic tournament so far, and I'm sure it's going to continue to deliver in this final and most prestigious event. On the panel today, for the final one, we of course are joined by Riditz. Riditz, welcome to the panel. Good to have you with us.
Hashtag no bias.
Yeah, it's good to see you wearing a black instead of a purple shirt in this regard. And of course, as always, Reigns, welcome back.
Thank you.
So guys, I do think it's really important that we mention that none of this is possible. Obviously, we're not sitting in our lounges. We're doing this from a fantastic studio, and I think without giving some sort of notice to exactly what we've been through or what we've been in, it would be a little bit underwhelming for you all. So here we have, of course, some imagery. Enjoy some of the production lights, the actual view of the studio itself. I think
literal lights, camera, action.
Yeah, pretty much. And of course, Jabba. It's also good to see him there.
Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah,
but I do think, jokes aside, it is really important that we state that this has been a really fantastic venue. We've had some really great opportunities just to meet the players since it is a LAN event. They've all been live, get to mingle with them and get to know them a little bit better. Especially since there are quite a few new guys on the block, it is great to be able to see them. And of course, we just have to point out the production team and for everything from production to catering, everything has just been really fantastic.
To casting, thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. But the lasagna and stuff was really good. And the mac and cheese tonight was great stuff.
I like Rain seems like particularly appreciative of the food.
No, really, I do. I mean, okay, yeah, so do you, right?
There's like two bigger sized people here. We're like, yeah, the food was good. And you're just like, I want more.
I'm really keen for that, actually. We'll go for seconds later.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody will keep you some. But yeah, I mean, look, jokes aside, it really has been a very fantastic production. I think that the guys have all worked very hard. I know there's been some late nights here, so thanks very much to everyone who has put in those late hours. And thanks, of course, to everyone who has been joining us in this experience so far, all of our viewers who have stuck around and enjoyed the Dota with us. I promise you there's a very, very interesting final match that's going to come up here, and some pretty interesting things you may be quite fascinated by that I will share with you in a moment. But I think before we go towards the future, I think it's only proper that we take a look at the past of this event and how we got to this point. And then just take a moment to appreciate the fallen, as it were. So the first team eliminated from the VS Gaming Masters was, of course, the last team, I guess you could say, that made it to the Mythic, rather the VS Gaming qualifiers.
Mythic Gaming qualifiers.
Just leave me alone. Via the VS Gaming qualifiers. And that team, of course, was Mythic. And I do think that they are a side that we've all become very endeared towards. And I think, Ridditz, you in particular seem to really become quite fond of them. And I think it's only fair that you have a moment just to chat about Mythic and how they got here.
I mean, the amazing thing that's been happening this year is the wildcards. All of the Community Cup Shields, the Emerald Showdowns, that have allowed teams like Mythic to qualify through and prove themselves to actually play at this kind of level, to play on this level against the best teams in the country. Sure, you might scrim here, scrim there. The big thing is with that, wildcard slot, it also gives you the opportunity to make it here, to play in the booths, to get this experience, the whole live setting, the pressure and everything while you're busy improving. Not like once you're in that middle bracket already, you're like maybe 4th, 5th, 6th, and now you have to experience this pressure, this environment, and it completely throws you off. With this whole wildcard slot coming in, it's actually giving the guys the opportunity, just as they're hitting their stride, as they're going up, to actually experience this and grow with this as well. So the next time they come, they're going to do better. The next time they come, they're going to do better. And if you have a look at the players as well, you could see a complete difference in how they handled some of their losses. When they were happy, they were hugging each other because they made it here. They aren't a Masters team, but they were given the opportunity to prove themselves, and they did. They kept their heads high, and to be honest, I just loved seeing the guys laughing and having fun, playing seriously, but then after that loss, just grouping up and saying, guys, we were here. We made it. Let's get better.
You do, in fact, raise a very interesting point in that one, is the attitudes of the players. And Rains, you and I were chatting about it earlier. I'm sure you'd like to share your thoughts, just the attitude of the guys that were here.
That was really great. Also interacting with the guys watching here, also as panelists, they've interacted with us, shared their thoughts of the tournament, and they enjoyed it fully. And also Mythic as a brand, they started off with open division, right? And then start making up to, as Reddit did say, into the Masters. So with that, it just shows like anybody can do it. Just need the passion for it.
Right. I mean, I think there's no better way to finish off than that. I mean, on a personal note, I have definitely had an opportunity to chat to these guys and spend a little time. And I can say that they're a truly great bunch of fellows. I still have an issue with you, Precious Petunia. You have killed me far too many times in pubbies. But the rest of the guys are wonderful.
Yeah.
So
one last thing, Sargon.
Of course.
I actually want to bring this up. Also a player for Mythic, but he's got to be doing the live stats in-game for the final as well. Just showing their involvement in the scene.
So I guess one might say that a Mythic player did in fact reach into the grand finals of the VS Gaming Masters.
So in fact, Mr. Wilson was incorrect. 2K17.
I don't think that's what he meant. I feel like you may be slightly blurring the lines there, but you know what? I'm okay with that. But yeah, obviously Mythic, it's kind of like a dream environment. Didn't quite make it as far as I'm sure a Hollywood movie would want them to. But it was still all the same. It was a great attempt. So well done, guys. And I guess welcome to the big leagues. Another side though that's certainly worth mentioning here is VNR. They were knocked out by Pulse, but they also have a similar sort of story. They were originally here, but then they went through some troubles.
Yeah, they had a fairly different team in the first leg. Had some changes. Younger people joining the clan, with the likes of Leet and Muzzy, who's also have some experience from different clans, and also playing different competitions as well before coming to the VS Masters. And I think one of the players that stood in VNR is Wazoo, who plays usually a support role. He stuck around for a couple of years. But the one person I want to mention is, I think a lot of pub players are very familiar with Kotta. And just, with him...
Kotta who? I decided to join this man? No.
Well, we've got one person that does not play pub. But he's, I think, known for the majority of the community who's, just playing some matchmaking, not necessarily playing competitive, but, enjoying a game with friends or two. They'll see Kotta in the other team, but, brilliant Dota player. But I think just lacks some experience in the lands. So with that, I think they can board up, improve from here, and then, come back stronger in the other Masters.
Last thing from my side about VNR, you covered everything. It's just I think they maybe lack a little bit of leadership to get them together, to get the 5 individuals as one. But a lot of potential coming from the new team.
Right, and then this next team, I don't think we really need to talk too much about. I don't think they're too important, right? XT. No, okay. I couldn't possibly take this opportunity away, but I will in fact throw this over to Reigns to give him the first shot at it. But XT, obviously, in my opinion, one of the most exciting sides to look forward to seeing. They're definitely building a lot of young and promising players in that lineup. Reigns, so why don't you give us a little bit more detail on them?
I think Reddit should be happy that XT proved a lot of people wrong about coming either 7th or 8th. They have 2 19-year-olds, 1 17-year-old, so a bunch of young players that shows true potential that they can reach to at least top 3 in South Africa in the years to come, especially with the likes of TKC. He's really showed potential in this tournament, play against the top guys in the mid lane and still able to cope. Like, I can always remember his sniper and puck plays. It's really, really good.
Yeah. So I also want to say that I think that like Hunter, Fury, Japper, who am I missing?
Rockley,
Rockley, of course.
Let's not forget that, right?
It's a sin to forget that man.
I'm sorry, but every single one of the players, and I'm going to step in.
No, I have something special for you,
okay,
so just hang there, right?
Okay,
so Rockley, I'm going to give you a second because I couldn't remember which one I skipped. But all of these guys, right, I think Rockley being the oldest and sort of has been almost like building this team.
24.
He's been kind of like the mentor to the team. He has a lot of similarities to me in my mind, the way he thinks, the way even the way he talks, to be honest, of the Scant, and that's promising. We could use another Scant in this industry. But I think the big thing for me is that this is a young group side that all have a huge amount of potential and can really grow into a great side. But what I want from you, Mr. Ridditz, and this is an opportunity, not be biased, right, but be their manager for a moment, say, guys, this is how I feel about you right now.
I spoke to the guys after our game, after our final loss. I grouped everyone in a big hug, and I told them, I have to keep it PG on this stream, but inside there, I told them, guys, I'm freaking proud of you guys. What you guys achieved, lots of people didn't know who you were. Everyone knows who you are, or basically who you are now. Rockley on his pudge, everyone knows that. The Wisp, everyone knows that. Hunter being sacked in lanes quite a lot, but still being able to come back and find that farm. Insane players. Offlaner, Japa, I have to say probably one of the most aggressive offlaners that can actually cause a lot of chaos, which is what we thrive in. And then Fury, one of the youngest players, Fury and Hunter, of course, being brothers, the way he keeps us calm and the way, the maturity that he has.
I assume we're talking about Fury.
Yeah. And then last but not least, it's TKC. Probably, in my opinion, one of the best mids or one of the best up-and-coming mids. So I told them all that. I told them exactly what each of them should be proud of. Where, like, everyone being known on those specific points as well. And now it's just to get together and move forward. And they all smiled at me and they're like, we're looking forward to it.
Nice. And that is the best way we could sort of end this for you. I know you could talk about them all night,
that's it.
But certainly, congrats to the guys. We look forward to seeing what you become in time. Of course, then talking about time, some of us get a little bit older with age, and our skills.
Rockley's still going strong.
Rockley's still going strong. I'm not.
I consider that young. I consider that's still the young era. But of course, the team here of some of the old veterans, right? Guys that I've been playing with and against for many years, and they're still going strong. And I think they're still showing that they have a lot of life left in them. Of course, that's Pulse, who I was quite impressed with. I expected. I think we kind of felt Pulse might be a team that might find themselves an early exit into this tournament, and of course they make it to the mid card, if you would. They've done themselves proud, and it's great to see the likes of Doppler and Smacker really still going strong after all these years.
The guys we played against.
The guys we played against.
The old guard, back in my day.
You have the flag still flying for us. It's a little bit wobbly at the moment, but I believe that I actually still believe in this team. I still believe that there's a lot of potential there, and as they go on, we might see some even more impressive results. But I've been spanning about. Does anyone else want to share any thoughts about?
Yeah, I thought that Fady, although the younger person in the team, showed a lot of potential. I think it's also one of his fresher lands, but can, as you said, having Doppler and Smacker, the veterans, can show them the experience to get these guys to improve even more. And I can't forget about Aghanim as well. He played a very good carry, showed a lot of potential as well. So I'm looking forward to see them in future Dota 2 VS Masters.
So we're running a little bit short on time, so I'm going to group these two guys up. But I don't think these are two guys that will mind too much, since they are not two teams that we take lightly at all. And that is, of course, APG and Energy. I'll just speak very quickly on it. APG is definitely having a bit of a hard time, but I was speaking to the guys outside, and they seemed like they understood where they went wrong and what they needed to do to improve on things. And I think we can all agree that as this tournament progressed, they actually got better. And hey guys, let's look forward to some more APG magic, because I don't think that's
Best of one magic.
yeah, lower bracket specialists. They definitely aren't over just yet. We're going to definitely get to enjoy some great APG games in the future. And then, of course, as mentioned, Energy Esports.
I wish we had more time to talk about.
I know
Energy.
it seems a little unfair, but we do have to move things along. But Energy Esports, guys, I mean, who here wasn't impressed by just the way they played, the intelligence of their gaming, and of
Chosen
course,
one, dude.
the drafting was fantastic. I mean, I think my moment for this team was actually when they were playing the Visage. They got the vision up the high ground, got the double RP with the Magnus, and it looked so slick and so good. And I would not be surprised if one day we're talking about Energy as the team that you have to beat.
I think they might just maybe lack a little bit of leadership or structure right now in regards with calls in the fight and having to decide how the fight should progress, because you have to make that decision before a fight. You have to know what you need to do, who to focus, and then you have to expect all of your planning to go out the door and still expect to know who you have to focus. I think that's what they lacked versus xTc.
Yeah, I think Strike's Visage is one of the times, in a few years you'll be speaking about Strike's Visage. It was amazing. And also they introduced quite a couple of new heroes in that game as well, like Abaddon. They just force out newer heroes and then have the other teams to doubt them, which was, it was great to see.
Yeah, in fact, if I'm not mistaken, it was Abaddon, Luna, and Kunkka. The only teams
the Kunkka as well, yeah. So they forced out, bring something different to the meta, and it's just even the spectators would love it.
Oh, of course, and yeah, we will certainly be seeing more of them.
Yeah.
However, it is time now to focus on the two remaining teams, and man, do they deserve it. They've fought really hard to be here. I think WRG got a fright at some stage early in the tournament, dropping game into the Energy lineup that we mentioned, but they've looked truly, truly fantastic. And of course, xTc. I think a very big moment for some of these guys. I'm going to save that because there is something once again that you guys don't know about this team that is it's pretty special actually. But before we go into them, let's take a moment to actually chat to all. I guess see what one of the players had to say. Take it away, guys. Let's hear from WRG's Castaway.
I'm Travis Costa Waters. I play for WRG Gaming and I play solo mid. In-game name is Castaway, and I came up with it because my account kept getting locked on Twilight, Dota 1, and my brother gave me his account, Castaway, so I just kept it. The person who's been the most influential in my life, helped me pursue my career, I'd definitely say it's my mom. She's helped me a lot with just like pushing me and always supporting me, and just like she's always there for me to talk to her, so it's really nice. I think with the growth of esports in South Africa, it's definitely looking very good. And I think with the increase in tournaments, it creates more of a reason to become competitive. And the more reason, the more players and bigger player base, more skill base. It's very good, very good. My favorite hero would probably be Invoker right now. I think the hero is just really strong and suits my playstyle. I feel like I can do a lot with it from the laning stage onwards. I'd say if I was afraid of anyone, it would probably be maybe Debbie from xTc, but he showed like promise and growth recently, getting 6K and stuff. But I'm not really scared of anyone, to be honest. I think everyone, because we're playing some really good Dota, and me as an individual, I feel like I'm really on form right now, so I feel like I can take anyone on.
Great, hearing from, I think probably I feel like we've got the stats to back it up now. Earlier, I'll double check them before we go back into the game, but earlier in this tournament he had a 16 point something KDA, and the next best was 7. It's pretty scary, guys, how strong Costaway has been. And I guess this meta does suit him, being a very favorable mid-meta. But take nothing away from the young man. He's living up to all the acclaim. It really is quite impressive.
So who's going to die the least amount of times between Travis and Adestam?
Well, no, it's funny you go there, right? Because Adestam really is the person that we want to talk about here. I did promise you guys that there was something special about this matchup. And I think some of you will be very surprised to hear it. Adam, in fact, this time I'm going to give it to me. He's Adestam, whatever he wants to be right now. Because
Adam, yeah.
he is actually...
I like that.
Adam, where it is. I tried. So,
and failed.
A lot of you guys will recognize the name. He's been a prolific player for quite some time now.
Yes.
He's played with APG.
There he is.
That's the man in frame. He in fact played with APG in the previous incarnation of, I guess, of VS Gaming, back then the DGL Masters. And he's played in many, for a very long time, for many different smaller teams. Like I think it was on IFG back there, but a boat ton of them, right? And he has always been considered to be one of South Africa's really top performers.
Yes.
In fact, so good was he that he was actually able to beat the team that I think we can all agree was the South African team of all time, being Bravado Emotion. And he was one of the only sides that was actually able to take a game off them, a full series. And of course, what you'll all be surprised here after hearing all of that is that this is in fact the first time Adestam will in fact be making an appearance in a grand final. And that is pretty huge. It's in
Dota.
In Dota.
He actually left Dota for a month or 2 or 3 or 4.
Don't kill the hype.
No, but this is actually more hype. He left Dota to just go over to Heroes of the Storm because there was a tournament actually running. He proved himself there. He won, and then he's like, let's go back to Dota. That is how
I'm
good the guy
having
is.
Vietnam flashbacks right now, Fred.
Oh, yes, I remember.
Was I there? You are.
Wait, yeah, you were there, right?
No, I don't do it, guys.
I'm just kidding.
You're just as guilty as I am. Why are you laughing at me? Right, okay, so now all the tension has been broken. I want to bring it straight back because here's the thing. He is a Dota man, and this is the first time he's going to make an appearance in this Masters. Must be quite an emotional day for him, I think.
Much deserved.
And truly a great moment for the man. And of course, it's I'm ready, regardless of what happens tonight, it's just that one extra feather in his cap that I think he deserves. And I guess probably there's a couple of people out there that may have been going into this hoping that WRG would come out of this on top, and maybe a couple that now that feel instead they'd like to see Adestam do that instead. But there are of course other people on the side of XC that need mention, and I think let's go ahead and see what some of them had to say.
Are we nervous? I don't really think so. I think we're far more motivated than they are. We just came out of a best of 3 2-0ing energy, and I think the odds were stacked against us. Everyone's opinion was stacked against us, and we did it regardless, and we were very confident. We didn't doubt ourselves for a second. We knew we'd do a 2-0, and I think we're very confident going into White Rabbit as well. White Rabbit are very impressive. They're very experienced, and that's probably their strongest aspect. They just out-experience us at every turn. They've been through what haven't experienced yet, so when we do it to them, they know how to react, whereas when they do it to us, we don't know how to react necessarily. So at the end of the day, it's going to be based on performance. If we're playing our best and they're playing their best, we can probably take them, I think. So it's just based off of how good we do. As for strategy, we gave nothing away in the winners bracket final. We sort of just wanted to try to figure them out a bit. We did the same exact draft, so that was good with us. We didn't give anything away throughout the entire tournament. We tried to be as diverse as possible, and yeah. So I think we're going to go in ready with some of our strategy. They haven't seen it yet. Anything specific you guys have to keep your eye on? Probably Deppy, mid. I think he's the monster of our team, kind of like what Miracle was for OG at a stage. We enable him very well, and that's sort of a lot of our strategy. So yeah, watch him definitely. As for the hero, I can't necessarily say. There's not necessarily a hero that's even hidden. I think we've got a few tricks up our sleeve. So yeah, just keep your eyes on Deppy.
Great.
The timing, though, of getting...
Nothing-
Wait for the stream.
No.
Nice.
Nothing
Respect.
to
That's
see
not
here.
holding
No,
it.
respect for that.
Nothing to see here. Reigns, there's something interesting that was said by DotA2 there regarding Depi, actually. Would you agree that that's how things are?
Firstly, coming into the finals, as xTc, their first LAN even, I think most of them met each other for the first time, is, it's a good impression that they can come to the finals like that. Regarding Depi, he's very good in the mid lane. I can even say that he's going to contest Castaway quite a bit, but he is not the main man in xTc, while Castaway is, right? He's going to be the tempo of WRG, and just try to take it from there, win the lane, and take control of the late game as well. But for Depi, I think he's there to create the space for Adestam to become the core into the later stages of the game, and then become their main man of xTc.
I actually think what xTc is doing right now is the perfect definition of, everyone talks about early game, mid game, late game. Okay? Where Depi comes in, okay, so the supports roam around a lot, quite aggressive early game. Depi secures the late game, Adestam secures, Depi secures the mid game, Adestam secures the late game. They have all three of those sections planned out. Whether they realize it or not, they do. By focusing a lot on Depi to secure enough farm and to actually give Adestam enough space to actually come in towards the mid to late stage if he's needed. And, that's just from me casting and how I've seen it happening. And that's actually very good.
Well, I think, on that topic about sort of effectively what we're saying is Castaway versus Adestam. I want to paint this picture for you, how scary it actually is. And once again, I think it is definitely due as I look at the improved stats that Sargon has presented with me. Thank you again. But I do think it is quite important just to show the difference here of the sort of mountain that XC have to go through. Now, Dota is not all about...
XTC, not XD.
XTC, sorry. Whatever.
Thank you, though. Thank you.
Sorry, I looked at you, into your eyes. And, so, here's the thing, right? Dota is not a KDA game, right? But it is a numbers game, and often you can read a lot into these things. So just as a overall perspective of what a mountain this team has to climb is, the Castaway, or the player Castaway, currently has a 16 point... In fact, did I read that correctly? In fact, yes, I did, because I had to look again. A 16.38 KDA. That is pretty crazy, right? Adestam, who's one of the higher KDA players in the tournament, is sitting at 5.35. And once again, Dota is not a game about kills and deaths, but just the amount of work that they're going to have to put to just get past this monster of a young man. It'll take something quite special for them to win this.
So, do you now focus Castaway? Or, because keep in mind, WRG has strong players. Chadawi and how he controls the game in-game as well, with those calls. I mean, if you focus everything there, all of a sudden now they have a safe lane that's free farming. Chadawi on the off lane will be doing a lot better because the support's on protecting Adestam. So do you now make the decision to protect Adestam, or do you make the decision to shut down Castaway?
I'd go with the first one. I think get it against, as you said, getting the Castaway versus Adestam story. Adestam is eventually the target man. Eventually, as you said, to the late game, he'd become the guy to target. But if you take him out in the early game, it's going to work out really well for the likes of WRG. So with that going, I think, just as you said, Castaway shouldn't be the only person to be focused on, but also for the likes of Chadawi.
Okay, well, that'll be the last thought we'll have to go through and for that part, because it is time now, in fact, for the draft. If you're just tuning in, guys, let's give you one last formal welcome. This is the VS Gaming Masters Grand Final, xTc Gaming versus White Rabbit Noob. And of course, WRG going through the winners bracket has 1 game advantage. xTc will have to win 3 out of 4 matches against probably the most dominant force in SA Dota today. Gentlemen, let's get stuck into it. Abaddon banned out by xTc. Obviously, hero that we've actually seen WRG favor as well. It's a good start.
It's the aggressive hero that they could dual lane, they can aggro lane, or they could just off lane with it. Stopping WRG from having that capability, as well as the constant threat of the Abaddon, the shield, the miscoil, the ultimate that can come through, that control that the Abaddon can give fits perfectly into WRG's playstyle. So I actually like that ban out there. Even though it's maybe a 1 in 3 chance WRG's going to pick it up, you don't want to give it to them. You don't want to give them that control up on Shadawi.
Should actually see what's the statistics of Warlock not being banned first, because now he's still left in the open, and xTc did show that Doom Bunny is really good at that hero. I mean, just timing the stuns, timing the Warlock ulti, and then as in stun meaning the Warlock ulti, and then the Fatal Bonds as well, shows that I think xTc has a really strong feeling about picking this hero first.
Warlock was not banned or picked up in the first phase of the Energy xTc game. Warlock was only picked up during the second phase.
Yeah,
the first time of the tournament that
was
actually,
third pick as well, yeah.
I know, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think maybe both teams in that game forgot about it. I really think both teams were just like,
third pick.
wait, we have Warlock? Wait, what?
And then they worked out well, you know. So it's not unlikely that xTc is going to pick up the hero eventually, but with White Rabbit not caring about the hero at all, could it be picking up themselves or just letting them do it?
Well, I do think that WRG have favored mobility heroes. Now, Warlock, albeit a great team fighting hero, is not one of those. And I'm not saying they won't pick up a Warlock at all. I mean, they may, in fact, never mind. They won't first pick it because that's going to go with XC, and I don't think that we're surprised about it. But I think WRG are the type of team that don't mind giving it away as long as they're going to get something that they have equal value on in return. And of course, with the heroes that are banned out, there are still so many top heroes. I mean, the Kotl has been removed as well as the Treant Protector, but Ursa, Legion Commander as well, and Sven, and in fact TA as well, which I think is something that we could potentially see out of WRG, are all top picks available to them right now.
Yeah.
So let's see what they go for.
TA's there. Legion Commander, it's always free to pick. Somehow, for some reason, we don't see a Legion Commander ban or a Warlock ban in the first phase. So I don't think we've seen WRG pick up a Legion Commander in any game in this tournament, but we can get someone, no? Okay,
well, there you go, Legion Commander.
To be honest, your Warlock, your Legion Commander, and for certain teams, your Dogs here. Those are the top 3 picks. But otherwise, Warlock and Legion Commander. If you're Radiant, the biggest surprise for me here, even though it might not be like the best known castaway hero, is the Shadow Fiend. It's Radiant, Shadow Fiend there, the stacks or the creeps now respawning every 1 minute in the jungle, having that Radiance advantage up on the Shadow Fiend as well. You can move from lane, you can get the stacks off, and if you want to go troll and pick up the clock as well, that's awesome, but you don't need to. Shadow Fiend is so strong on Radiant right now.
Something is really weird about this, right? So, in WRG, if you chat to them, they'll speak to you about the differences they've experienced when playing European scrims and playing South African tournaments and scrims. And one of the, they make quite a few comparisons between the two, and effectively they struggle sometimes to make the adaptation going back and forth. They find that they'll be caught out for things that South African teams can get away with in the European circuit, and I would assume vice versa. But Lich is basically the South African hero.
Has always been, always will be. Well, Lich, and depends on who it is. Scat and Bane.
Bane. I was going to say Bounty Hunter, man.
Bane
was really popular back in the days as well.
Thank you, Rains. Thank you.
Yeah, but I still feel Scan Bane. Whenever,
well.
That's what I said, depending on who it is.
It's like a scan hero. Yeah.
But Bounty Hunter and Lich, I agree, but Lich has always been there. Back when we used to cast like every single day, Lich, South African scene, Open Division, First Division, Premier Division, any division, Lich it is.
It's always fun, especially when you have Hari casting with you. Obviously, for those who don't know, Hari being an international caster who joins us quite frequently, he's always very surprised when he sees the Lich King come out. But it always does. It finds way, and well, here it is.
I think this is like the second time it has been picked.
I think it has been picked once before.
I was casting the one.
Yeah, it's got a. In fact, there he is. It has been picked twice now. And it has, well, in fact, this will be a third pickup, and it has 50% win rate, so 1-1, lost one. We'll see if we can break that number.
It's good to break the lanes as well, just to get those deniers in, maybe the mid lane, as soon as game starts. And then with Adestan playing that Ursa. Ursa is an interesting hero, because when xTc beat Ian with him, Ian had 4 melee heroes that he can chase after. I don't think that White Rabbit is going to have the same mistake, but I don't think Legion Commander is going to, choose to duel the Ursa, because I think that's a very bad idea.
I feel like we get this sort of age-old thing. But I guess what's interesting is that we see this quite often when they pick up the Legion Commander into the Ursa.
Yep.
But the Legion Commander, and maybe a big part of this, of course, is thanks to Laka, who was very capable hero and picked it up quite often. The hero still has an 81% win rate. So it's not like it seems to be suffering with Ursa. I guess it just needs to find a tastier target. And another one, Jakiro being brought in. But I do want to just step back from it because we have actually skipped over quite a few of the bans. Let's just go through them quickly. We will see the Weaver and the Invoker ban up by xTc. Obviously, Invoker, one of Castaway's top heroes, so no surprise there. As well as the Darkseer and the Templar Assassin. Now, that's quite cute because Deppy also, I think, has been impressed with his Templar Assassin. And the Invoker, obviously, something that Castaway is impressed with time and time again. So it's a little bit of respect from both sides, I imagine.
I completely agree with that, specifically with that Ursa being picked up with a Warlock, having that Templar Assassin there as well, will just give, there'll just be too much burst within a 2-second period in any engagement for WRG to survive that. Keep in mind, Ursa can also mid though. Keep that in mind. And
true. I mean,
depending if, for example, WRG go for a Ember Spirit. No, but Ember Spirit is a Castaway hero. Ursa does extremely well up against an Ember Spirit. So it's sort of a carry and a mid to scare off WRG.
Yeah, I don't think you're correct with the positioning, but I don't think Deppy is a hero type of player to play the Ursa. I think it's going to stick to Adestam. And while
could he maybe rotate mid though?
It's possible. It's possible that Adestam goes, but Deppy played the Shadow Fiend when, as Reddit said, they can choose, or White Rabbit can choose an Ember Spirit.
I'm kind of hoping that for whatever reason, White Rabbit will be kind of silly now and pick up a Panda, because then we'll get to see the mid Ursa.
Yeah.
Death Prophet, keep that in mind. They've been running, a couple of teams have been running Death Prophet as carry as well. Up with the Warlock as well as the Ursa. Some people have been running it in that pos 1. I don't feel that is necessarily an Adestam hero, but it is a Deppy kind of hero. So maybe switching those around. This is I'm theory crafting here because xTc has to do something out of the box to take it to WRG. I really feel they have to, and maybe doing something like that could be worth it.
Well,
I just see people shaking their heads here.
No, I mean, I was theory crafting my own. Like I was thinking about the fact that we chatted a little bit earlier about the pressure that has been placed on. Well, that pressure will be applied to Adestam in this matchup, and perhaps you could do something funny with the roles to sort of provide the space for the one you really intend to win you the game. But Rubik picked up here by XT Gaming, and then the response being the Slark. I know Jabba, who is actually casting this game, and waiting in the wings, just became very, very happy.
Hello, Jabba.
I don't think he talk back right now.
Yeah, he can't talk back right now. He's busy. Yeah. Probably doing his settings and just shaking his head.
Shaking his head because I've changed everything.
But he's going to wait there. He's going to wait till the game starts and be like, hey, Reddit, what's up? Shut up to Reddit.
Just be that.
Oh, wait. I thought I heard. Wait. Hello, Jabba, how are you doing?
The production gremlins have crept in and they've let in a Jabba.
Yeah. Oh, crap. Okay, the entire production's gone downhill now.
I think that is...
okay. Well, I heard him. There for a second.
We heard a Jabba for a second.
We heard him. Okay, anyway, back to the cards. Axe being picked up by xTc. I mean, lots of people say Slark is good against the Axe, but you also get that counter to say if Slark goes into a Shadow Dance, he's on low HP, Axe can blink forward, he can get that call off to actually keep the Slark there until the Shadow Dance is away.
That's probably one of the best things, especially if like a force off, just sort of pull back that Slark towards you.
Yeah.
I think that's a nice pick, and also just because of the nature of Axe being a hero that is, like generally fairly tanky and can generate its own armor, opposing you have to rely on agility or items, obviously is quite a nice little combination. And it works really, really well with the likes of an Ursa. If you can get that call off and just give the Ursa an opportunity to just blink and follow him up, get a couple of Fury Swipes, and then apply a slow, that it does, it's surprisingly useful.
Yeah. It's going to be really well planned if Axe can get a 4-man core, for example, Rubik stealing a Chain Thrust off Lich. Potentials over there. Yeah, as Reddit says, Slark sometimes could be a Rich Tongue, really weak against the Axe, but it could go other way right now with, just for the sake of tanking it and getting the Ursa to kill.
Shadow Fiend is out from WRG, and they ban out the Lina. So xTc, this is going to tell us is this going to be a mid Ursa, but the problem is because if xTc decide to make it a mid Ursa, WRG can see that and scout that out, and then decides to change that up a bit. but it's going to be either mid or core here being picked up here by xTc. I honestly would like to see a Death Prophet here on xTc's lineup.
Well, before you steal all the thunder, I do believe we now do in fact have Jabba and Succubus with us. Hello, Jabba and Succubus.
We are here and we are present. That's slot.
You are
Clearly
the
president.
Mr. Worldwide.
I'm going to
Well
make
played,
the world
boys, well
great
played.
again.
Okay.
Okay, so I need this from you guys. Since there's one pick
Storm's
left,
first.
I wanted you guys to have an opportunity to try and get the last two picks. Jabba and Succubus, can you predict the White Rabbit Gaming's final pickup here?
I predict Storm Spirit, man.
White Rabbit Gaming.
I'm going to say
going well
Tinker. I'm going to maybe say just a Tinker because I know Castaway loves that beast.
Indeed. But I don't know if it's
An
going to
Ember
be a
Spirit's
thing.
still there.
Yeah, I was going to say
Yeah.
probably my bet would be for the Ember Spirit at this point. But let's
Storm
see who's
Spirit
right.
get rooted.
It's panel versus
Laser
casters, yeah.
on Ursa. Okay, this is casters versus panel. All right.
I would say, I think
No,
think
you have
Ember.
to. You have to choose. You have to go with me
Wow.
because we panel versus.
But it's so good against Storm and Ursa, though.
Okay. All right. It's Jabba versus everyone else.
Jabba gets the world, man.
Well,
With his amazing socks.
The with his
he does
amazing
have
socks.
amazing socks. I won't lie.
We like saw that on stream as
And
well.
that was a
he
really
wore
cool
Superman socks yesterday as well. I don't know if
Okay.
anybody else noticed.
But-
yeah, Superman.
With the last pick coming up here, I mean, it could be Control coming through, but they need a hero here to actually take it to Deppy. Because they need to put pressure back onto xTc to force the rotations from the supports of xTc to open up at a stamp.
Oh,
it's gonna
we
be
were
the Queen
all
of
wrong.
Yeah.
And I was literally busy working my way up to talking about
whatever.
Queens
that's
of
fine.
Pain.
You know what, it's
Whatever.
far too late. And what this means now is it's our time to bow out.
I'm
Jabba
done.
and Succubus. Jabba and Succubus, please take us away with the first game between XC Gaming and White Rabbit Gaming, the grand finals.
Well, as Devon has said, this is the final, ladies and gents. This is what the weekend has built up to. It is going to be WRG unseated, undefeated since last year against xTc, fighting their way through the lower brackets to get themselves the spot at the champs. And it is going to be one for the ages. There are guys going crazy outside. The teams are going berserk. How do you feel about the draft?
I'm loving the drafts. I mean, there's some like hard counters to certain heroes in here, but I mean, this is one exciting matchup on both sides. It's going to be one hell of a final, ladies and gentlemen. One hell of a final. But the real question is, can someone knock down the oligarchy that is White Rabbit Gaming?
Well, it is going to be up to xTc to bring it to the side of WRG if they can do it. But get ready for this BO5, ladies and gents, as we get into it. We have got I Am Jabba joined by the lovely Succubus and Sargon on stats. So when you see those stats pop up, give him a shout out. But in the meantime, the game is underway as WRG is going to be playing on the side of the Radiant. Before things get too crazy, too hectic, let's go around and make the introductions. Santo on our twin-headed dragon. We have got Whelp on our Slark. We saw him have an amazing gyrocopter earlier. In the mid lane, we have Castaway going to be playing that Queen of Pain. Kind of wrecked our hopes when we
Hold on.
suggested an Ember
I know we're
Spirit.
doing introductions right now, but there's a big smoke up and Whelp is in the middle of 5 heroes.
Oh, he gets called back. This could be very well be your first blood. Does Whelp have the opportunity to get out? And it's not. He's going to actually bounce down onto DotA and die. He can't get out of there. And first blood already going to
Oh my.
WRG.
Actually, it wasn't 5 heroes. It was 4 heroes. We have Skynet making his way towards the top lane. Sorry. So that was a little bit unfortunate there. Whelp just walking into basically the whole side of xTc there.
Well, to continue our introductions quickly, before we get up to any more shenanigans, we have got Shrinks on our Lich. We had Castaway on our Queen of Pain, ruining our predictions. And Kadawi getting up to a little bit of mischief in the top lane, will be playing the Legion Commander.
I think this is their ruin. I don't think Santo can contest this at all. Anyway, guys, on the side of WRG, the real oligarchy. Oh, wait, he's actually doing it. Hold on.
Well, Doom Bunny
Bunny's getting
taking
out.
a little bit of right clicks over there. He is going to be able to get out pretty easy. I don't know if you guys saw the stats come up there, but a ridiculous KDA for Castaway. Absolutely monstrous.
16.8. I mean, what do? What do you do against that?
I don't even think I can count that high.
Maths is hard, guys. we'll leave that up to our stats man Sargon to do the maths. Anyway, guys, playing on that lovely Jakira, it will be none other than Santo, followed up by Whelp, that unfortunately went down to the first blood there on the mid. No, not one, the other. Well, the one and the only Castaway, followed up by Jadawi on that Legion Commander. And last but not least, we do have good old Schlinks on that Lich. Look, the Ice Armor is going to be exceptionally good against this Ursa, against the Axe. It's going to be lovely. It's going to slow down their attack speed, and it's going to make a lane really hard, especially with the sacrifice and obviously that XP gain, coupled up with the denies that Jadawi is inevitably going to get, the 30% more. It's going to be absolutely amazing.
Well, and now that WRG has had their limelight to go around and do the introductions for xTc, going up against Costa will be Deppy on the Storm Spirit. In the bot lane will be Doom Bunny on the Warlock. Skynet on the Axe, saw him have an amazing game earlier. And in the top lane will be the Bear of Bears, Adastam on that Ursa. And last but definitely not least will be DotA2 on that Rubik. Can the aerostatics balance itself out? The seesaw between these two teams come to an end as they go bashing heads to head.
Yeah, well, Adastam is known for his bear, and he plays that hero very, very well, but it's going to be an exceptionally hard game for him here.
Well, we do see Skynet getting the call off onto Whelp. Don't know if it's going to help much. He does actually have a pounce available if he opts to use it. He doesn't feel too threatened at the moment. Santo in the sidelines may be able to save him if needed. And
Doom Bunny being extremely aggressive here. And why not? I mean, it's a Warlock with an Axe. You must feel pretty safe, right? Whelp's going to have an exceptionally hard time against this Axe. It's just so good against the Slark right now. I mean, you call him, he can't go anywhere. And, you know, I mean, he's doing so much. Yes, he's stealing your stats, but he's doing a lot of damage. Jadawi, on the other hand, and Adastam, of course, they're going toe-to-toe here. DotA2 popping in every now and again just to help him out. And it looks like Doom Bunny has rotated here. And it looks like it's going to be a tri-lane. Maybe trying to get the first blood up here. But it looks like he's just here to heal poor old Adastam.
Well, Adastam, they did have the telekinesis out onto Adastam. Well, up onto Jadawi. Adastam opting not to actually go for the kill. Decided, listen, time to shop. Let me jump into the shopping area, buy what I need, and actually let Jadawi walk away free of charge. I mean, now we've got the Rubik. It's not many times the Rubik's been picked up in this match. Now he's very good at controlling heroes, putting them out of position, bringing them closer to Adastam. How do you think that's going to actually impact the game where you've got a Legion that wants to get on top of you, but a Rubik that is now controlling you? Do you think that maybe the Rubik wants that to happen, or you're going to maybe use his telekinesis to actually take away the distance or separate the distance between him and the Legion, between Adastam and
Yeah, well, look, I mean, once he gets his duel up, you definitely don't want to steal duel because you end up dying as a Rubik on average. Look, it's nice to lock down maybe one of the other supports, but definitely the lift is going to come into play here with Jadawi. And
bot lane though, the pounce is good from Whelp. The ice path did hold him in place. Could this be a kill on Skynet? He's trying to close the distance. One right click from Santo does take him down. Top lane though, telekinesis is good. Trying to bring down Schlinks. It's going to be enough. Can Adastam make it work? Beautiful body blocking coming up from DotA2. Easy work for Adastam just to get those free swaps stacking up, doing the punishment, and he pays with his life.
What I am really worried about is when the Legion Commander does have that blade mail up, and you know he goes onto this Ursa, and if he has his overpower enabled, he's going to take a lot of damage there from the blade mail. If he survives it, which he tends to, because he's got pretty high armor, you know he can always use that enrage just to evade some of the nuke damage. But it is going to be extremely hard. And of course, when the Storm Spirit comes into play, he can also help. He can also help with duels, but it also, like, the Storm Spirit against a Legion is also not favorable. It's going to be interesting to see how they play this. Jadawi, I think he's going to be there just to lock down the Storm Spirit for other people to come and do damage.
Well, it is a very good lockdown. We saw a particular exploit, I would say. You use the jewel with a little bit of a Ghost Scepter if he's doing too much damage. Otherwise, just generally a great lockdown for these heroes that can actually get away. Yeah. You wouldn't actually want to jewel out the Ursa. I think once those Fury swaps start stacking up, could actually put a lot of pressure and could hurt the Jadawi.
What is great is when he gets a blade mail, of course, yeah, Fury Swipes is going to really hurt. He's going to hurt himself. But, I mean, if he leaves a press attack for after the duel, he can easily take that off of himself. But as we said before, he could also just get the Ghost Scepter up and use it just to disable Dustin or the Storm Spirit long enough for the rest of his team to come in and kill them quickly. I mean, the Queen of Pain is good at the burst damage, so is a Slark. It's good at stealing the stats, and of course Lich. I mean, that ulti is going to do a lot of work this game because I mean, what does Lich ulti generally do? It splits up your team. When a Lich ulti drops, oh no, but Castaway in a lot of trouble here, taking an immense amount of damage.
He was actually being very aggressive there, blinked in, got the scream off, and immediately Doom Bunny just fatal bonds him out. A spell that you really need to respect.
Well, he's got the Arcane Rune, so that's why he was being aggressive. But now with the Invis Rune here, can he make something happen? Doom Bunny's a pretty easy kill, but oh no, he gets spotted out by the Sentry. They didn't even notice. If they noticed, he could have actually been dead there.
Well, he doesn't actually have Vortex up, so there was no real threat at the moment. But as soon as that Vortex is up, they're going to be able to hold that Queen of Pain in place.
He could have died just to another Shadow Word and some Fatal Bonds. He was aggroed quite a bit by the creeps there as well. It would have been a disaster.
Well, if they were quick enough. I feel that they wouldn't have made the play.
He probably would have blinked away anyway, but...
He wouldn't have gone down. If they had the Vortex,
but
if they had the Vortex, then that was probably a guaranteed kill. I think they were holding on to it, not revealing that they actually have a Sentry in the mid lane. But because he drew the aggro, it actually then gave it away and then Castaway knew. But in the meantime, bot lane, while taking and making easy work here of Skynet, he's actually already level 6 and already taking down Skynet on the axe. He's going to be struggling to get up that blink if those shenanigans continue.
Well, Santo doing great work on supporting Welp over here. But another point in the mid lane, what we just spoke about here, I mean, Storm Spirits don't generally tend to level up that Electric Vortex until they have their overload and, of course, that Static Remnant up. Look, it is nice for the disable, but when you go gank, you want as much damage output as possible, and that's definitely the build. You have other forms of lockdown with a Rubik that can lift people, with an axe that can call. You know, it's not something that you need early.
Well, I mean, considering you're going against the Queen of Pain, maybe 1 point, just maybe one. Otherwise, you're going to need those rotations here from the side of xTc to actually come and help out the mid. They do bring in Doom Bunny on the Warlock, but I mean, nothing really concrete to actually hold the Queen of Pain in place. Maybe the 1 point may be worth it, but then again, it is Deppy on the Storm Spirit and knows a lot more about this hero than what I do.
No, definitely. I mean, these guys, they sometimes make questionable plays in our eyes, and we're like, okay, what are they doing? But we don't know what they're thinking. I mean, obviously,
we're
because
just here for entertainment value, guys.
It's not just that.
To entertain you and to keep you from changing the channel. So hopefully we are doing that. Hopefully you are laughing at our shenanigans.
Yeah, but the thing is that like no one in SA at the moment. These are the top players in South Africa, and with the highest MMRs, and obviously. Oh, hold on.
Goes telekinesis onto the Lich. Adestam trying to find Schlinks. Is it going to be good enough? Chadawi boosting him up, but the scream from Castaway obliterates the Ursa. Dota and Die. He goes down as well, paying with his life. So Adestam, Dota and Die going down. Quick rotations coming out from Castaway. And this is why this man is sitting with a massive KDA, always in the vicinity to pick up those crucial kills.
Well, he likes playing the fighting mid-heroes, heroes that rotate extremely early and control the map. Just make it hard for the enemy team to breathe. He creates that space. But teeping out there from the Rubik, I mean, he really did try to get out, but unfortunately got spotted there by Chadawi, and of course he got spotted by Castaway as well. He almost got out though. It was maybe 1.5 seconds on his TP there.
If the replay is still available, let's take a look at it. I would love to see. Take a look here. Look at the mini-map as well. Just watch the rotations from Castaway. They do lift up the Schlinks. He does try and run away. Adestam takes a huge amount from the overwhelming odds. Castaway just blasts it away with that scream. And Dota and Die then pays and suffers for the consequences of what happened there. Absolutely unbelievable rotations coming out from WRG. On point and just being able to clean out the business. I mean, it's like a draw a little bit full, and Castaway's there to take out the trash, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe. And just to correct everyone, we weren't talking about the Fury swipes. We were actually talking about the overpower.
Oh, the overpower. Which,
yeah. Not the Fury swipes, guys. Sorry, you misheard us.
Oh no, I was saying the Fury swipes.
Yeah.
It's But just take a quick look here in the mid lane. Castaway looking to make a little bit of a rotation. Yeah, he's going to right-click down Deppy. Now, so far, according to our last hits, Deppy is actually in the lead by 1. But Castaway is, okay, well, he's actually just overtaken the lead. But with a staggering 23 denies. And now with the new mechanic of this new deny mechanic is going to allow him to excel and gain XP a lot quicker if you get those denies on. So Castaway in a pretty good lead at the moment. Whelp leaping across to the other side, going to TP out. xTc not going to find anything off of the back of that.
Not even to be funny, you know how many people have been asking me that question? Oh, does sacrifice count with an extra 30%? Guys, it does not count as a deny. You know, like when you look at your last hits and denies, if you sacrifice creep, it's not actually technically a deny, so it doesn't give you what the sacrifice gives you plus another 30%, because that would be absolutely broken. I feel with the sacrifice.
Well, I mean, that's something that that's been a common debate around the table.
It's not a debate; it's just not happening.
Well, it has been, because I haven't actually had the chance. I mean, we're looking. Or hold that thought though. Adestam finds out Chadawi. Does he actually decide to turn it around? Does have Jewel available? Adestam, he looks very angry and is looking to chow down Chadawi. Do have the Rubik in the sidelines here. It is only 2 here for WRG, 3 for xTc. And WRG thinks better of it, and they're going to just back off. Now looking in the mid lane, Aspath comes down. They do get the mid lane of tower. Deppy was thinking about jumping in there. And Skynet, a little bit off there off his Blink Dagger. He's got about 250 gold to go until he gets that. And then once the Blink Dagger is up on X, things are really going to change for the side of xTc. They're going to be able to get those engagements, get those crucial calls. And if he gets those decent calls down, it's anyone's game at that point.
The problem is Adastam is really far behind at the moment. He's only got phase boots and, of course, that Morbid Mask at 12 minutes. And we normally see a completed either Vlad's or the new Mask of Madness build that we've been seeing a lot lately into almost a Blink Dagger. But it looks like he might actually go and do the whole rush trick, because remember last time we saw him sneakily just with the phase boots and Morbid Mask at 8 minutes in the last game, I believe. He played Ursa, quickly just going and sneaking into rush, and no one had any idea that he was there. The problem is that Axe, without a lot of follow-up, he's going to have problems.
So Adestam gets spotted out. Santo throws down the ice path. Adestam going to try and go ham. The Shadow Dance does come out, and Adestam trying to survive through it. Can Whelp find him? And it's not going to be good enough. Whelp cleans him out, and Adestam almost be able to take him down in the mid lane though. Can Skynet survive through it? He does. That last hit not going to be good enough, and Deppy TP's out with very low HP. Fights happening around the map while the two from WRG, Whelp as well as the Jakiru, managed to push down bot Santo, doing quite a bit of damage here to this tier 1 tower.
Quite a bit of damage indeed. This is also one I wanted to touch on, is the fact that you've got a Jakiro, you've got a Queen of Pain, you've got Lich to ice armor the creeps, ice armor the heroes. You know, it's quite easy towers here for them, and the fact that they have outright won most of their lane, oh, actually all of their lanes, to be honest. Let's be honest here. It's really putting xTc on the back foot, where you don't see Adastam with the amount of farm that you would like him to have. You know, I mean, even Deppy is quite behind here. I mean, he's almost got his Bloodstone, but he's still about 2,000 gold away from that. At 14 minutes, you expect to see that already on player like Deppy. It's just everything is just going wrong for them at the moment. Ooh, Skynet and Deppy trying to find Whelp here, or Whelp actually rather scouting them out with that Shadow Blade. So they know what's going to happen. They're going to try to defend this tower. Question is, can they? Warlock ulti is down.
Well,
you don't have much follow-up in the way of the Axe Blink call.
Do you know what really scares me now, though? While picking up the Shadow Blade, as it is, Slark is a super, super scary hero. But we'll come back to that. Adestam deciding that he may want to go into Chadawi. He's going to just TP out, and it's going to be pretty easy. He's nothing to actually stop him from getting away. Doom Bunny's rock is off cooldown, and he's going to be able to just escape pretty easily. Jumping back to the bot lane, though, Chadawi, he's now here. They're going to try and take down this tier 1 tower. He's being lifted up at the moment. It's going to be an easy tier 1 to be pushed down. Ours path just going to be a defensive path for the moment. And top lane though, Whelp finds out Adestam absolutely hunting down the Stam. and he's going to take one more right click, and Adestam is getting abused.
He just wants his blink dagger, man. Leave the man alone. Well, go pick on someone else.
So
Shame.
before that all happened, we were talking about the Shadow Blade on the Slock. I mean, as soon as you pick up that item, he becomes absolutely so difficult to deal with. You literally need sentries everywhere. They did have a sentry over here trying to watch out the jungle, but there's no vision, there's no ward that can actually spot that out. So unfortunately, not having that ward there cost Adestam their life.
I wanted to touch on the warding situation just for a moment.
There's
I've been
bottom.
I've been eyeing it out for like the last 2 minutes. I've been waiting for the appropriate time, but it looks like a pair of eyes, just like casually, boop, it's down. It's really.
We must try and catch a point when a hero walks past there on the map. It will be a.
Hey, double vision, man, in the same spot. You gotta love it.
I wonder if you have 2 wards. Okay, let's just take a look at the abuse here coming out from xTc. I mean, this is currently the vision for xTc. They've got the Radiant jungle pretty covered. Pretty covered. Hold that thought though. It's the side here. Do they find anything? Whelp getting pinged out. They do actually have a sentry. They're going to pop down the rock. Whelp gets out. They wasted it. They wasted the rock and they couldn't bring down Whelp. Oh, wow. The hearts of xTc must feel so hurt at the moment. Oh,
let's do the replay thing. I think that's legit.
Oh, wow. That was... so they get the vortex off, but then not being able to connect. Doombuddy not landing the rock. Didn't expect a pull there from Deppy and actually being punished for it. And now the Jill comes in. They're going to find DotA and die, but the vortex is good. The Chain Frost from the Lich is going to separate the fight. Castaway standing in the middle of in the thick of it. Icepath comes on, catches 2. Now Skynet, can he make it out? Deppy takes a huge scream to the face. Castaway trying to find more. And the team of xTc trying to back out. Chadawi still gets the double kill, brings down Deppy, and loses the Rubik. WRG, what did you have during the break? Well,
I mean,
he has actually invised up.
This feels like a similar showing from earlier today. To be honest, I mean, the same thing kind of happened to xTc today against WRG.
Well, Deppy trying to clear out Schlinks, he does. So he finds the kill. Can he do something here to Santo? The call comes in. Going to try and work onto Castaway. They do lose Santo. The Twin-Headed Dragon is down. Chutawi bites the dust. And now xTc is out for blood. They've tasted it. They want it. But Whelp is going to get away.
Whelp is definitely going to get away from that. It's so unfortunate. They're just not finding the gap. They're really just not finding the gap here.
No,
I mean, that drop of the rock there, I mean, just the miscommunication. I think they said, okay, well, we really need this kill onto Whelp. It's a really cool opportunity. Let's get them. And then just, dropping down 2 disables at the same time at the wrong places. It's just unfortunate he was able to get out of that.
Let's take a quick look at that replay before it looks like the X-Mate trying to jump in. Deppy finds the deep dive, takes down the Lich. He then works onto Santo while Skynet jumps in, grabs the 2 big calls here from WRG, and then takes down the Legion commander while Castaway pretty much gets away with his life. I mean, WRG won that initial fight. And then all of a sudden, xTc say, no, listen, we can actually turn this around. Deppy making the big call, diving deep, and then getting that kill. In the meantime, though, Whelp, they have now got some deep sentries coming in here. Put it up in the jungle. They are really scared of Slock. I mean, he's doing really well. He's got Echo Saber up. He's got his Shadow Blade. I mean, he's a little terror at the moment.
No, and I mean, Adastam now getting a little bit more breathing room. Almost has a blink dagger up. Actually, I don't know if we have stats on that. On what's the average timing for Adastam's blink on this hero? Don't you have the stats for that? But generally, I see a blink on this guy with the Morbid Mask, with him already taking Rush. I mean, straight after Rush, he makes a kill or 2, and he has his blink within the next minute or so. So I think his average blink timing with Phase Boots, Magic Stick, Morbid Mask, and blink is averagely around 10, 11 minutes on Adastam here. So he is not having a fun game. I mean, half his map is gone already.
Well, I mean, I know in previous games when he did actually pick up the Ursa, he would actually be rushing at this point of time. Rush would have been done and dusted. They also did tie him up with the Slardar as well. So not having the Slardar available kind of negates the fact that Rush becomes a little bit easier and not as early taken. But the rock is available
really
now for Doombuddy. They can actually look at making a play here. But it looks like xTc, they're just holding and biding their times for the moment. I mean, you've got these big ultis up. Things have actually calmed down for the moment. We're 20 minutes into the game. We're sitting 8-6. In terms of net worth, you've got your 2 cores here from WRG sitting at the top with 9K gold for Whelp, 8.6 for Castaway, followed by Deppy on the Storm Spirit, and then the Legion Commander. So Adestam on the Ursa, not having the greatest time, but in all fairness, Whelp absolutely making his life a misery.
They can definitely bring this back. I mean, the initiation from the axe, of course, Warlock, we've seen how strong he could be in this game. And it's definitely like, even if we have a Warlock walking around with nothing, it is still something to be feared. Doesn't matter what you're playing against. And I mean, Deppy, he is an absolute beast on Storm Spirit, and he's almost got that Orchid up. This could be a game changer for them. Maybe get some amazing pickoffs onto the Slark, onto the Queen of Pain, you know, like just zone them out. And they can definitely bring this back. They're not that far behind. I mean, there's about a 7K net worth lead on the side of WRG. It's not impossible. We can do this. They can do this. They can definitely come back in this game. They just need to play basically how they did in the last fight. Even with Rock down, they still were able to kill 3 of WRG. So definitely for me, they can bring him back. Also with the Blink Dagger now completed on Ursa, almost the Vlad's up. Definitely. I see things looking up here for them.
No, absolutely. And I mean, things can change around. One big team fight, one bad team fight, and things can definitely change. But you know what surprises me is they've got a lot of wards down here for the side of XTC. Now, Slark, one of the better scouter routers, I did make up
the
that
scouter routers,
is really good at scouting out wards. And just because his Shadow Dance actually goes off cooldown, he doesn't get that extra buff. And he can actually tell his supports, listen, something's in the vicinity, let's sort it out. Now, you can use it to your advantage. You can either say, right, we've got stuff in the vicinity, let's deal with it, or rather not do anything about it and make XTC think that it's safe because the wards are still there. So, I mean, it could be a little bit of mind games, and we do know how I enjoy my mind games. So they do have this ward that's sitting over here. They do know what's happening. Well, they do have the sentry down here. They do know what's kind of potting here for the side of WRG. But XTC, they're not up for it. They're looking at taking down the bot tower. Can they draw out a team fight? They're all hiding here in the back lines while Skynet's going to tank it up. Let's see if they can draw out a debate from the side of WRG.
Maybe they can, but I mean, it looks like they're going to go trade for trade on the towers. I mean, tier 2 for tier 1. And then possibly they're going to have to come back here, because if they carry on pushing, they need to come back, because with a Jakiro, a Slark, a Legion, a Queen of Pain, it is a quickly, like at this stage of the game, it's quite an easy tower for them. They need to come back here or try and meet up somewhere else and maybe smoke up, because there we go.
Well, they're going to smoke up. They're going to try and chase down WRG. In the meantime, WRG is at the top side of the map. So it may just time out before anything does happen. The pings do come out.
This is a little bit dangerous, though. They do have vision on Doom Bunny, so maybe they feel like, okay, well, we're safe here. We're going to farm on
pick off the Lich. They're going to see the Lich. Adestam trying to blink in, take it down. Oh, the courier. Oh, that would have been... Check him get out of there. But in the meantime, big fight up here by the shrine. The jewel goes down. The rock to follow. DotA and Da gets picked off immediately. In the meantime, Trade Frost underway. They do eventually bring down Doom Bunny. Whelp hitting him like an absolute truck. Shrine gets blown up. Castaway throws out the scream. The Ice Path is down. And far for the side of WRG stands alive as they lose 4 of the heroes for XTC. Adestam, the only one to make it through and survive the gauntlet.
It kind of feels like they were indecisive on who exactly they were going to go on, knowing that they could, you know, potentially lure WRG into a trap, maybe pick off one of the heroes. It just felt like they were pretty much indecisive. And of course, Legion getting off that duel, it just messed up the whole mechanic. And then the Lich ulti coming down between the Warlock just, oh no. Santo!
He gets up.
Really? He blinks
Adestam
into it.
He's going to get out. He's going to get away. He's gonna get away.
Oh, the play, Santo.
Wow. The applause. That was
amazing.
Magnificent. I mean, the fact that he jumps down and Deppy not getting away. I mean, let's take a re-look at that and see exactly what happened there. The rock comes down. The winner already out. Chidari's already taken the win. Skynet taking a huge amount of damage from that Chain Frost. The Golem, not even a problem. Then
not to the Chain Frost.
Deppy Get silenced out, can't do anything about it. The Ice Path doing a huge amount of work, even under the protection of the Shrine, couldn't make anything happen. But with all that said and done, we do have them looking at trying to jump into the Rosh pit.
No, they haven't. I mean, like, they don't have the best lineup to take Rosh this early. So, I mean, if you look at the Rosh lineup, you favor XTC to take Rosh, right? I mean, they could potentially do it with the press the attack, the moment of courage with the Legion Commander. But they potentially do need to get, especially now that there's a gem of true sight on the Slark, maybe you do need to get the Aegis just on him. So if he does get spotted out or ganked, you at least don't drop the gem with him.
No,
But it's also nice because he knows from where he can't, Regen basically that he knows where the wards are. So he can just go, okay, well, I know where that one is. I know where that one is. Is Santo really going to get away with this again?
No, not this time around. Telekinesis is there. And Adestam says, my friend, you are going down tonight, my friend.
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty a good poem. That was a really good poem, I think. But this time, the shenanigans from Santo are going to pay, and he does go down. Beautiful rotations. They were sitting at the top. Just before that happened, I actually wanted to point out how the rotations and how the movements of XTC is moving. They're always together, at least very close by to one another. You've got the 3 players here from XTC in the bot lane. You've got Adestam and Doom Bunny sitting in the mid. They're always very near one another. They now do actually rotate Whelp in. They're going to try and work on to Deppy here. The silence comes out, but the call from Skynet's going to be good. The deny from Deppy. The Chain Frost is out. The hunt is good. The jewel is better. DotA and Die just going to take it to the face, and WRG absolute meanies.
Absolute meanies. I mean, they thought, okay, potentially get a kill, but the TP rotation's coming in. And of course, finding 4 heroes instead of 1, that's really, really, really not ideal.
How do you feel about now the Deso onto Adestam, onto the Ursa? I mean, he's going for the Deso. He's got his blink. He's going to try and sneak a Roshia quickly.
Yeah,
but
he needs it just for some anti-armor against this ice armor from Lich. He really does need it.
And I mean, this is super scary. Whelp pretty much just clearing out the backline supports. Doom Bunny getting spotted out. Does Whelp actually decide to do something? He jumps into Rosh. He realizes that Adestam's nearby. Doesn't know if he can actually make anything happen. The TPs do come into the shrine, but Adestam, he's just going to actually TP out. This is going to maybe perhaps open up Rosh here for the side of WRG. Not exactly the play that you want to happen. Losing Rosh to the team that doesn't have the Ursa. Well, now Skynet, he has actually picked up his Blade Mail. Going to be a little more of a problem. The jewel comes out. Deppy, he's going to go down. They have so much lockdown for Deppy.
They really
just can't get anything happening here. I think he needs to really pick himself up, the Lincolns. And
he's trying. He really is trying to get that Lynx up. It is in his inventory, but he's just so poor at the moment. I mean, and his Bloodstone charges all the way down to 3 now. He's used his sacrifice twice. Well, once. It's on cooldown. I mean, this Bloodstone is not really doing much more for him right now. It's just they're sitting at such a back foot. It was at the 7k net worth lead. It's now sitting at almost 17k net worth. I mean, they could come back. No, but this is going to be extremely hard. This is going to be...
I mean, you've got the XTC players caught off guard. In the meantime, WRG wants to take the racks. They want to finish this off. They want to... Oh, instant Jules coming out from Santo. Stopping the call from Sky, but the rock is down. Santo gets dunked. And now Whelp finding the jewel. Chadawi making easy work of him. Deppy running in there. But Whelp is shadow danced out. They lose DotA and Die. Whelp may go down. He still does have the Aegis. Can they follow up more? Castaway gets the scream off. Killing spree for Chadawi. Killing spree for Castaway. Adestam is tickling the side of WRG. The Shadow were trying to do its work. But the Rock just hitting down Chadawi a little bit in the back lines. And a massive team fight going in favor of WRG. They only lost Santo on the Jakiru. They take down the melee racks. And absolutely devastating the side of XTC.
Look, very, very good high ground defense. It's considering that they didn't have Deppy in that entire fight. Yes, they lost the high ground now, but they've still got the ranged racks there. But as I say that, I mean, Whelp once more. Whelp's going in. He's got Aegis. He's got everything he needs. I mean, Deppy's still down for another 10 seconds. There's not much they can do to defend this right now. They can't die back on the Rubik. Dastam is trying here.
Shadow Dance being used out. Adastam can't go toe-to-toe. Perhaps he can. Can he bring down Whelp? Aegis is on the deck. That is massive. Skynet, can you get that blink call? Is it going to happen? Deppy jumps in. The silence is good. Whelp is going to get dunked. Jamie's on the deck. Deppy once more finding out that Jakiru Santu going to pay with his life. They're going to drop the ice path. Super shenanigans coming out from this bloke. And Deppy doesn't have enough mana to actually chase him down. Skynet, Chadawi blinks away. And easy work, losing the top tier 4, top 3, but paying with his life. Let's take a look at how long it took to bring down Whelp on that Slock. They take down the tier 3 here. He's right-clicking pretty happy. Adastam says, right, I'm tired of this. I'm going to run away. He takes a huge amount of damage from Whelp. Under the protection of Shadow Dance, the dagger comes out, stolen by Rubik. The Aegis is now on the deck. Skynet, can he make it happen? Deep Deppy already balling in, and that ice path just not doing what was necessary. And they lose Whelp. So they do take down the mid lane of Rax. They do take down the top tier 3. And this could be the opening to the XTC base. That means shrines can now be taken. It is going to slowly teeter away the defenses of XTC.
Yeah, well, it was pretty unfortunate, but I must say, give my hat off to XTC there for that high ground defense. I mean, they didn't have Deppy there, and they still were able to maintain keeping both Raxes. Well, I say, 1.5, because, I mean, we do have the range Rax still at mid, and we do still have the untouched Rax of the bottom and the top lane as well. So, I mean, they did really try themselves. That should have been high ground for WRG there, but, I mean, really well played to XTC there. And, of course, Deppy respawning just in the nick of time, it saved them as well, because they kind of ran out of steam after a while, using up the shrines, trying to make something happen here.
Well, we do have Rubik, does have the blink dagger, but Shadawi jumps in, gets aggressive, but surprise, the rock is there. Adastam has been disarmed out, can't right-click, but Shadawi, he's trying to TP out, but Deppy in the place at the right time, cancels out the TP, and they kill down Shadawi. Beautiful Jabate coming out from the side of XTC.
And look, this is exactly what they needed to do now. I mean, once you had, like I said, the blink dagger onto the Ursa, you could start making the plays. Once you have that Orchid up on the Storm Spirit, he can start getting solo pickoffs. And now he's very close to his Lincolns, where he wasn't before.
Santo does Yules up, gets the ice path down onto Deppy. The rod of Atos is there, the deny comes through, but he is down for 57 seconds, no buyback. Deppy all he can do is watch as his team tries to defend the high ground. Fatal Bonds is down. Shadow Word is out onto Santo. Is it good enough for the side of XTC to defend? Whelp is looking for a target. Can he find something? Adastam out of the base. Going to be a problem. Scotty going to be doing its work here. Dark Pack going to be good. The call from Skynet comes out. Going to keep Adastam alive. Icepath stolen by Dota and Da. Going to hold him in place, but Skynet is going to go down. Telekinesis going to try and slow down Whelp. Not going to be good in the meantime. Castaway trying to work down onto Doom Bunny, but he still finds the kill onto our poor little axe. And now, well, can Whelp find it? No, he can't. He's actually going to get away. And the boys from XTC, they decide to tap out. This puts WRG 2-0 in the series. Can XTC stop the big white rabbit?
It's going to be extremely tough for them to stop, but, I mean, they could have come back from this so easily. They really could have. I think, like, you know, once Adastam got that blink dagger, I mean, the axe could have also, I mean, yes, Skynet's going to die if he blink calls, but, I mean, they follow up with Deppy as well. Of course, the Warlock, I mean, very strong in team fights, but the problem is that when you have something like a Slark, a Lich that actually breaks up and splits up team fights, and the Slark was just absolutely ridiculous. Castaway, I mean, he only died once that entire game. You have Santo, who's, you know, doing amazing things on Jakiro. It's really hard to do anything, and the fact of the matter is they should have looked for more pickoffs with Deppy, looked for more pickoffs with Skynet, tried to give Adastam more space, get him that first initial rush just to get ahead. Once he got that Morbid Mask, he needed to maybe smoke up, you know, go into rush, get it quickly, while Deppy and, say, Skynet go and distract people. You know, it's just like just to get somewhat ahead. Get the Rubik to maybe steal the ice armor, the chain frost, anything he could possibly get. You know, like just create space for Adastum to do Adastum things. But I mean, Depi was the perfect hero for that as well.
Yeah, I feel it was really tough. Whelp had the Shadow Blade at a really good timing. Really shut down the dire jungle. Adastam couldn't get the farm that he needed and was a complete threat constantly throughout the map. And that threat from the Slark constantly and the instant rotations coming out from WRG really made it difficult for xTc to get into the lead. So, I mean, ending the game 22-10 after 33 minutes. Looking at the net worths here, Whelp and Castaway sitting with both 17,000 net worth, closely followed by Chadawi on 15, and xTc not having the best net worth at the moment.
But it's not just that. I mean, having a Lich in the lane, right, with its sacrifice, with a new creep mechanic giving you 30% more XP, doesn't technically count as a deny on your last hit and deny charts, but it still does the same thing. And Lich is just prominent in this patch because of this abuse of this mechanic, right? And then you've got the ice armor, which is really good against things like Ursa. It slows down his attack speed. It's really good against that type of thing. It forced him, you know, like you do see Desolators a lot, but not so quickly on Ursa like that. You know what I mean? It's just something that, you know, you force out certain items. It's really hard to also push towers because, I mean, the towers get more armor now as well, the more people that try push. Then you add ice armor to that as well. It makes things really, really hard. Lich LT, very good at separating people in team fights. You saw how fast it took care of the Golem. I mean, he just couldn't get away from it. Really, really hard. Really hard game.
Well, from myself, Jabba, Succubus, and Sargon, we are going to hand it over to the panel. Get ready for game number 3. Boys, take it away.
Awesome, guys. Thanks very much. It's been quite an adventure so far. That does look like WG are in a pretty powerful position. One game away from winning the VS Gaming Masters. Of course, for xTc, it means they have to win 3 back-to-back against a side that just taking one game off would be quite an accomplishment. Gentlemen, welcome back.
Thank you.
It's quite a bit to talk about. It is, of course, you know, grand final time, so we'll try to keep things as on point as possible.
Purgatory.
And we're off to a great start, as we can see. But yeah, certainly a lot we can chat about in this game. Obviously, very WG favored in the end. The first thing I really want to talk to you guys about is the actual tempo of the game. Do you feel that xTc are, you know, able to keep up with the tempo that has been created by WRG?
I felt like in the early game they did. It was laning phase, so it started off pretty slowly. I think it was like 2-2 until the 10-minute mark, and then gradually Castaway, especially Santo, I would like to point out his Jakiro was, whenever Storm Spirit went on him, he would Eels, Ice Path, and then just teleport away. Nothing they can do about it. It's obviously the skill of Santo's Jakiro is just amazing to see. And then they just Castaway. Well, Castaway and WRG just ran away at the end of the game.
Devet, would you feel that this was something that they could have like dealt with their heroes, or do you think it's more so, you know, the team itself that's running into these issues?
Well, we sort of got the answer to a question we were asking earlier, is do you shut down Depi or do you shut down Adastam? And I think they decided to like shut down Adastam, and I agree with that. So the thing is, sure, Depi might, I mean, he actually played well. He played really well under the circumstances, playing from behind quite a bit. But shutting down Adastam, shutting down his jungle, shutting down the way that he farms, basically puts everything onto Depi. And Depi can't carry the entire team. He's an exceptional player. But in a case like that, we also said earlier on is, do you keep the supports with Adastam or do you rotate them? And I think we all agreed to say, try and secure him. Depi will do what Depi does. But secure Adastam's farm, make sure that you can jump back in. As soon as that mid-game hits, Adastam needs to be on point.
Yeah, that slowed down a lot as well. Kind of negative kitty out of the Ursa. It reminded me of, you know, he slowed down against WRG in the upper brackets finals as well. Same thing happened, as Reddit pointed out. Adastam needed to be capable to, you know, just keep the mid-game to late game going.
I mean, I was sitting outside of the players earlier watching the game, And I mean, one of the things that I heard, somebody, I won't name him to put him in a bad light right now, but he leant over to one of the other boys and said, I don't think this Ursa has done 3,000 damage this game. So it just felt like that hero was just really ineffective in that matchup. Let's try to take the positive out of this. What did we like about the xTc game?
Okay, so before we go there, I think xTc needs to play aggressive. What do we like about this xTc game? No, not a lot. What did I like about a lot of the other xTc games is they were aggressive. They set the tempo of the game. They allowed Deppy to create that tempo, to control what Deppy does amazingly well, and they allowed Adestam to fight. This game they didn't. They played WRG style. They need to stick to the way that they play and not go, oh, this is WRG, we have to play differently. Don't. Play your gameplay. Dota is so balanced right now in regards with how you play and how you draft. In most cases, except for like small micro metas, there isn't actually a meta anymore. You draft against your opponent and you play your play style. Your opponent plays their play style. Whoever stops playing their play style first loses. It's not about you versus them. It's about you versus yourself.
Well, I mean, I see what you're saying. It's kind of like they're being confined in this box at this point where they're, this is our land. We're going to own this, but WG can have everything else. And of course, WG being greedy at this point, are going to come take your land as well. And it's going to end up pretty poorly for them. And, that almost reflects on the map, right? So I'm not just saying that to make some sort of phrase, but rather on the map themselves, you can almost see the way that WG almost starts encroaching onto the territory of xTc, and they just once you get to that point where WG feel comfortable enough to own pretty much your jungle, put pressure on your own ancients, you have so few options to come back, and it's one of the things that I think that we saw them do very well across in this entire tournament. Is just if you look at the map and you just see those icons and you see where one side is like grouped up and they're sort of sharing a small amount of resources and experience. You look at WG and they're just all over the show, getting as much of it as possible, and those gold graphs start swinging pretty terribly. But, I mean, we have seen them fall before, right? We saw Energy manage to upset them.
Playing aggressively.
Not only did they play aggressively, there was a lot in their draft as well. It was a very well executed draft, and I think we've spoken quite a bit about how Chosen One has been quite a fantastic draft, in fact, in the series. In fact, I would probably say that he has had the single best drafts.
Yeah.
You want to say it was XD XD?
No, I actually don't
the
think...
Sniper, Spectre, Commander's draft.
we proved you wrong on that one.
You did.
And if you actually go to a lot of the players, they'd actually say that was an exceptional draft because of the way that the team plays. When it comes now lately down to drafting, it's not like old school where it was meta drafts. It goes back to the point about where there is actually no main meta, only micro metas. And that is per team. If you draft according to your team, what you might like in a draft and what I might like in a draft is actually two different things. And that is what is so amazing with Dota right now. You should draft according to your team, according to what counters your team, what you want to do as a team, instead of drafting according to metas. And then you will win. We've seen that repeatedly over the past couple of months on the international scene as well. And Chosen One drafts amazingly for his team, but he sometimes goes a little bit too much into the meta draft instead of focusing on his own draft. And I honestly think WRG, sure, they're on the top, and you say, yeah, they draft what they want to because they're on the top, but that is why they're on the top. They draft their picks.
Yeah, that's what xTc should have been doing as well. As we talked about Energy, xTc picked Winter Wyvern, something that they're good at themselves. That's what Reddit's pointing out. And I felt like they went a bit generic on the first game of WRG. So just gotta, bring out your best.
I mean, do you feel that they're doing that sort of because they're not confident in their ability to take on WG? Do you think we'd see a very different looking drafts if they were, let's say, playing a side that was of an Energy stature, like really, something that they respected but they didn't necessarily fear?
A very good question, but you could phrase it to say, if they were playing ranked with no names, everyone's name was just A, one of those kind of games, would they have drafted differently? Would they have played differently if they did not know it was WRG? The answer is definitely yes.
I think that's kind of cheating because they probably wouldn't consider things like Invoker as high threat.
No, okay, sure, but that goes down to the micro meta, but it's still draft your draft and play your game. If you can break WRG's tempo in regards with don't play their game. Play yours. Force them to play your game. Then I really think xTc, with the players they have, stand a chance. And I feel that probably during the second game, xTc might actually come back with that, because now they're just like, oh, okay, we've lost one. What do we do? Hey guys, it's okay. We've lost 2. Let's just have fun. Let's play our game in game number 3.
Yeah, it would be surprising that they win after this one.
I must say though, I walked past the WRG booth back to the panel, and those men are looking very, very calm and collected.
Focused, huh?
In fact, I even got a little wink out of Shidawi.
Nice.
So, so I mean, the thing is that they're obviously in a very good place, and I think when you look at the sort of demeanor of the two teams right now, and this is probably one of the first times we've looked into the xTc booth and seen them not with like big smiles on their face. You can see that they're a tense bunch. They're concerned about what's coming next.
This isn't like unhappiness there. This is them really focusing to try and figure out what do we do. And I really think the answer there is going to be, let's play, let's have fun, and let's play the way we play. I know I'm hammering on this. I'll stop it now. But that is, I hope they're listening, because they really need to do that.
I hope they're not listening, because that would be pretty bad if they were like, had inside information.
It's not inside information. I'm telling this to the entire world.
Well, that's what I meant. They're in the booth where it's safe from all
Having
external
a secret
forces.
stream going on over there.
Otherwise, I would literally just be saying, support Viper, support. Bob Yules has my back on that one. And I believe Sargon also, in fact, is a believer in the support Viper. Just saying.
But why? Where's the lockdown?
Because
Where's
reasons.
the catch?
Because
the only place that you can put a support Viper is on a POS 5, and then he just dies.
I think you're taking this slightly seriously, but I do have some serious things to talk about. Actually, just some stats that I think are worth going over, which I think quite sort of talk to the point you made about picking your own heroes and picking to your own style. So we did this earlier on. The stats have grown a little bit, but you may have heard this before. But 79 heroes have in fact been picked up so far, 55 heroes banned. And I think that just talks to the fact that there's a lot of heroes being picked up. Very few. I mean, how many heroes in Dota these days? 100 and what?
50 something.
Yeah, it's a fair amount. But
if you would have asked me yesterday, I was actually talking about that and I forgot.
Yeah, we're getting old. But there's quite a lot. I can tell you one. There. Thank you, production.
Finishing move.
Finish him!
It's like Mortal Kombat style going on in the panel.
I actually have a Mortal Kombat jacket here with me.
I'm scared at how off we were actually, because when you said 150, I was like, that sounds a bit more.
It's probably 120.
113.
130.
13 or
113.
113, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean.
There's like 160 odd, 170 different items or something like that, but it's just under 120 for heroes.
Yeah. A complicated game, right?
Yeah.
And then you include you include all the talents into that, and it does become quite something. But I got to say, it speaks very well to the fact that there's that broad spectrum. I mean, if we think about where Dota was before, you were often getting the sort of same 20 heroes picked almost in every game. I mean, think TI 1. It was just anti-mages versus faceless voids. That was pretty much how the game works. And more flings. So we've come a far way, and it's really good to see this game in this sort of position.
In 4 days, we have 79 heroes picked, or what?
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. At the previous Dota 2 majors, over a week, they were encroaching that number. So that actually goes to show how broad the South African scene is right now, in regards with meta, in regards with different play styles, and everyone fighting for that 2nd to 6th place. Yeah. Currently, xTc fighting for that 1st. I believe they can take a game off WRG.
So if they do take a game off, do you believe they can take 2 more?
Stretching a bit there.
No, I don't.
My opinion, yeah.
I just think WRG only needs to win 1 more after this. That's the thing.
Yeah.
If they won the first one, it was a different story. Winning this and then winning 2 more, it's extremely unlikely, because WRG is going to go back and say, what do we actually need to do to play against our opponents? And then they can come back, which I really feel if xTc takes this one, WRG is going to take the game after that.
Reigns, how do you think you approach this from a sort of almost management level of the game? Like, you're the captain of this team. What would you be telling about these people?
I feel like Reddit is right about this one. Since it's already 2-0, you want to come back, and to come back, it's a long stretch, and I feel like they just need to play the strengths.
Yeah.
Not necessarily ignoring the drafts, but it's the Invoker ban. That's necessary, but just try your best. I mean, the Winter Wyvern was great. I want to see something like that again.
speaking of drafts, did I hear that correct? Do we have our draft ready, in fact?
I think they might want to go to an interview.
Is it an interview that I'm missing
interview.
here? Right.
Is it an interview
okay.
of me?
Let's hope so. It's an interview with WRG, and it's a
Oh.
versus interview, in fact. It's going to be great. Let's take a look.
This would definitely be the tightest match. I think xTc is a very consistent team, which makes them more scary than any other team in the tournament.
Yes, I think this is the tightest matchup in this tournament.
I personally think the game can go either way. They're a really good team, but we believe in our abilities.
I think we'll win if we get good drafts going and we all just stay chilled and play our game. I think we can take it.
I'm not afraid of anyone on the team for xTc. I'm confident all our players who match their roles are equally skilled or better, so I'm very confident in our abilities to win this match.
Great. So, well, I mean,
Welp it was with that Shadow Blade.
Yeah, it was. Versus interviews are either very friendly. It's like, I might not take this one, but it's going to be a very close game. Then you get xTc guys.
yeah, I was going to say it's just. I mean, I think if there's one interview that will always stand out for me, it was of course Doom Bunny versus
I'd watch it
Strike.
over and over again. He's just so aggressive.
I was like watching that because we're actually casting that, and I was just like, is this Doom Bunny? Where did he come from?
I feel like this is the kind of guy who lets you through the door first. You know? So if you're walking towards the door, there's like this guy, and he's having a polite off with you, like, so here's the thing. Trust me when I say you will be going through this door first. I mean, you will. And at the time, you think, oh, he's a cool guy. Like, sure, no problem. But really, he's just winning.
He's telling you
He's
what to do with your life.
Yeah.
You could tell him, no, it's my life. He's like, it is your life, but you're still going to do this.
Because I say so.
Yeah, no,
Because he says
that's exactly what happened. Him facing Strike, he just zero filter there. It's like, I'm gonna beat you. It's like easy game. I got it.
I think we can appreciate some of the showmanship though as well.
Yeah.
I think for those of you men, there's probably a little bit of fun had there. Although I don't think Strike was particularly impressed by that. Well, we'll see after this game. Let's go. It was a real throwdown.
Got it. What a lad, right?
Yeah,
That's a good guy.
and unfortunately, I think Energy will still get the chance to get revenge sometime later on. So all's fair in love and Dota, I guess one could say. But yeah, so we are just about a minute away from the draft. This time for Realsy.
Mm-hmm.
Gentlemen, I guess let's put some wish list items out there. Is there anything you would like? Because this could potentially be the last one. I mean, White Rabbit Gaming just have to take this one map, and then
I
we have a
honestly think xTc, because we had a draft ready for White Rabbit Gaming in the winner bracket final, and that was going to include our Meepo, and we had that draft, and that draft works. Everyone is afraid of Hunter's Meepo for a reason. I want xTc to pick up a Meepo.
I want XC to pick up a Meepo. I mean, this is like we should have had 80 heroes picked, and that was the Meepo that was missing.
It would make up a great story indeed. I think having Depi play something different as well. I mean, we don't know if he can play a Meepo or not, but here comes the surprise, right?
Probably there's RDK, there's Hunter, and there's a sort of Muzzy Meepo. Those are like the 3 Meepos that I'm aware of.
All I know is that if a Meepo is picked up now, I'm going to go check in that booth that there are in fact the correct players sitting inside there. But I do think that we make these jokes, right? But this is the time, and we're about to go into the draft as well. So this is the time that you do pull out that holy grail. Often we see this fall apart, right? We see these teams that have theory crafted something, say, right, let's go, let's see if we can make this work. Let's give ourselves a fighting chance. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we see something pretty special.
Yeah.
I think with xTc, they might go with 1 or maybe 2 unorthodox picks, but unorthodox for this micro meta at this LAN. I think xTc needs to pick up heroes that they're comfortable with, heroes that they have played together, and heroes that they know what their objective timings are. At 10 minutes, we need to take down the first tier 1 tower. At 15 minutes, we need to take down the next one. At 20 minutes, we need to have a certain amount of kills and then move into rush. Those objective timings are extremely important, and xTc, I honestly feel, needs to pick a draft that they're aware of those timings and that they hit each one of those.
Well, what has been hit is good old Lich, this time being taken out. Give a little bit less SA flavour in this one, I guess.
Yeah.
But interesting to see the respect band coming out towards it. On the other side, we do have the Tree and Protector and Keeper of the Light band as well. I think those two may be the. In fact, I want to check. They're the most banned.
The same ban as WRG's first as well.
WRG bans mostly those two heroes. I honestly feel those two heroes counter WRG's kind of playstyle quite a lot. So that's why WRG bans them out. Possibly, maybe not. Warlock being banned out, so is this going to be a Legion Commander for WRG?
It's highly possible. I mean, every time they let loose of this out of the bans, they usually pick it first. It's like first comers, first serve.
So I just thought you guys might be interested to know that and this is obviously progressing now with this particular game, but there are in fact a couple of heroes here: Keeper of the Light, Tree and Protector, Ursa, and those three. They've in fact been picked or banned in 68% of all of our games. But the scary thing is that they've actually been banned 12 times, only picked up 3 times each.
Shadow Shaman.
Getting a lot of the ban hammer in this one.
I quickly just want to say, I think xTc might go for the Clockwork Shadow Fiend strategy. They are on Radiant, but then they know they're leaving White Rabbit Gaming the Legion Commander. It is literally White Rabbit Gaming trying to bait them into that so that they pick the Legion, or otherwise get them to pick up the Legion for xTc, but then they won't be able to get the Clock Shadow Fiend. And Deppy plays a mean Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, that is a very good strategy. I think Halbert, you just need to check if Strike's not in the WRG booth picking up the Shadow Shaman.
Yeah, that's why people have to is like quietly they're just sort of adding a couple of. I think xTc don't need the help. What they need is a good game. Yeah. But Doxy and Jakira being picked up here.
I was wrong. I really thought that they would try and prioritize that mid for Deppy. Get him the Shadow Fiend. It is on Radiant regardless of the Clockwork, and perhaps even if it's a Shadow Fiend on Radiant, which is fine, you don't need the Clock, and then the Legion Commander, that's 2 strong heroes for the side of xTc. So I'm quite surprised with the Doxy Jakira.
I mean, Doxy Jakira is actually a fantastic combination. I mean, this is like sort of age old, and I wouldn't be too surprised if the next support is Disruptor, because if I was seeing the issues, right, I would be saying like, guys, let's try to get something that we can just wipe them, right? I mean, that would be my strategy. It's something that we may have practiced in the past, something that we feel comfortable, and something that's fairly easy to execute. Now, Doxy Jakira for sort of strong players like this. It's really easy to set up that ice wall into Magpie, into the actual vacuum, and get off something pretty huge. And potentially we could see a wombo combo coming out here. And it's interesting because I wonder if that early pickup on the gyrocopter isn't also towards somewhat of a block pick as well. So they're saying, okay, maybe this is where this is heading. So let's get one of the carries that would work really, really well in that scenario.
Well, over the past 3 weeks in some of the other online competitions, White Rabbit Gaming's been running the Gyro a lot. So I just think them picking that up to try and push xTc, to push them into an uncomfortable position to say, hey, you want a team fight? We have a gyrocopter, come at us. xTc right now should decide, you know what, even though you have the gyro, we need to play our game. It might go into that gyrocopter, but if they change up their draft now, after first picking a Doxy and a Jakiro, it's going to go very badly for them.
Yeah, well, to be honest, Doxy and Jakiro are actually two of the bigger picks as well.
Yeah, for xTc Gaming specifically.
Yeah. I mean, Doxia has been picked up in picked and banned 68% of games. And if I can find Jakiro, there he is. It's 45%, which is pretty healthy.
I remember the Doxia having a very low win rate as well. Is it still like that in the final day?
That is a fantastic and not the answer we were looking for, friends. It appears that our faithful Doxia has won once this tournament and has a 14% win rate.
That's very low.
What do you guys think of a Crystal Maiden pickup here for both the teams? And what is the stats on a Crystal Maiden there?
I'm now Statsman Halbert. Let's go.
Is this for White Rabbit Gaming?
Any of the 2 teams, I'm just wondering.
Crystal Maiden has been picked and banned 45% of the time and has a 63% win rate.
I think it's 7 games it's been picked up.
8 games.
8 games been picked up. How many times has XD picked it? Like 6?
Yeah. So I think we may as well just rename this with Fury.
Sorry, I just wanted to throw that in there. Okay, so XTC right now, do they go for the other support or do they actually try and pick up an offlaner? I do see the
Night Stalker still there.
Disruptor, but I want a more aggressive support coming in. I want that aggressive support for XTC.
Well, you might just have Crystal Maiden picked up.
Okay,
it's very mean.
Okay, Oracle Riddance, here we go.
I mean, you did get the first 2 picks wrong, and you got the third one right. So it's more like fortune cookie grid. Sometimes it's right, sometimes not so
a
much.
broken clock is right twice a day, so it's okay.
I mean, to be fair, I was way off on this one, so it's so it's good.
But I was thinking about a Crystal Maiden, because you have your Jakira, you have your Ice Pot, you have your Vacuum coming in, the Crystal Nova, the Lockdown as well. Even though Crystal Maiden is more of a defensive support, the ultimate can control that team fight. Gyrocopter, huge AoE ultimate. Hey, I'm a Crystal Maiden, I also have one.
And then White Rabbit Gaming also playing very aggressive over here, batting out the Sven and the Ursa. This is targeting the Adestam once again.
Yeah.
So I think they're trusting to let out Depi to play whatever he wants, because there's only one space left, and the likes of Shadowfiend and TA are still in the draft. So I'm not surprised, talking about TA, I'm not surprised if Castaway gets something like that. Yeah, so, but on the other side, we get the Ricky, so coming back into the South African scene.
Yeah, Ricky is something that's actually been picked up for quite a while here.
I feel like we invented it, actually.
I honestly feel we did, because then it went in huge international, then it went away again. And then it was Baboka from IG that picked it up at a game where I can't remember who was casting that. They were like sitting on a panel, they were busy discussing and saying, yeah, well, what other picks are there? Ricky, no man, Ricky is probably like the worst hero in Dota right now. Baboka picked it up. A week after that, it was being run in every single international tournament. Ricky's strong.
Yeah, I think obviously for the South African players, we're very used to seeing a high level of Ricky. I mean, of course, Odu was probably one of the guys who made it really, really popular, as well as like I think it was Santo who used to play it for WRG in the past.
Yeah.
So we might see a return of that, which is really, really good. But that's the scary one for me, is the Ember Spirit.
Yep. That's why the Ursa's being banned out. Ursa completely dominates an Ember Spirit in that lane.
Yeah. No, it does. With the Ember Spirit picked up, it shows that, Castaway saying that, let Depi pick whatever he wants. Here comes the TA, I'll just pick up the Ember Spirit because I can beat anyone with it, such as the Shadowfiend as well. Whoever picks up Shadowfiend, easily taking him down. But this leaves the last pick, the last ban actually for WRG to ban out an Adestam hero. So once again, just cancel out all the Adestam heroes, and it just leaves so little option.
It's pretty rough stuff, I guess, if you're Adestam right about now. But let's chat about what all those last bans are. So it was, as mentioned, the Sven as well as the Ursa, then on the other side of the river with XC Gaming. They banned out the Chen, the Abaddon, and the Axe. So one more ban remaining here, and I guess it's obvious, right? You're banning out another Adestam hero. What do you think the next one on the list for Adestam is? Sorry, Adam Moore.
Adam Moore.
It's so weird because they usually pair up Adestam on the Ursa, especially with the TA being there. But the Lifesteal is still available. I think the Lifesteal is actually a good hero to pick up.
So maybe ban the Lifesteal, because the other one, in fact, wasn't Adam the only person we saw pick up Lifesteal this tournament?
Yes, and he didn't die once until I brought it up, then he died, then I left.
Right, okay, well, cast is cursed, it happens sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think he's the only person who actually played Lifesteal, and I think the next big guy on the list is also the Juggernaut. He hasn't seen a huge amount of play, other than from XD themselves. And then there's Troll Warlords banned out, maybe the Sniper, I don't actually know how his
Jugger
Sniper is.
against Garo, no. Okay, so Enigma being picked up.
That's a big
King.
one.
What about Wraith King for XTC?
I'm generally a big fan of Wraith Kings, and funny enough, I quite like Wraith Kings against hero lineups like this, where you're likely to get caught. Well, you could expect like Enigma would be happy to commit an ultimate to your core, your one position, just to get that win. But obviously, it's like you have a built-in Aegis on your Wraith King. So I actually quite like that, but it looks like they're going to disagree with me and you, and they're going to go for the Spectre.
Going
Jackie?
for the late.
Reigns?
Yeah, this is also just emphasizing what Reddit said earlier. Just from the mid-game onwards, that's where the Spectre shows up. And that's just, also a Depi showing that he can play the whole game where the Templar Assassin just shines.
All right, guys. What do you think? Can XTC take this game?
Yes.
Well, let's hope so.
Let's hope so indeed.
I wasn't talking to you guys yet.
Well, we got
Where did you come from?
We butted in the conversation.
I'm out, bye-bye.
No, stay, Reddit.
Well, I mean, since you've already invited yourself in, I think you may as well stay. And ladies and gentlemen, get ready for White Rabbit Gaming versus XC Gaming. This effectively is what we could call the potential last game tournament. And if White Rabbit Gaming wins, they will be crowned your VS Gaming champions. Succubus and Jabba, take it away, guys. Have a good one.
Well, good evening, ladies and gents, boys and girls, and Dota players around the world. This could potentially be the last game of the event as WRG go head-to-head against XTC. At the moment, WRG is sitting with a 2-0 lead. This is a best of 5 I am Jabba, joined by Succubus and Sargon. How do you feel about the draft so far?
Look, I'm loving the drafts, and I definitely agree with the panel. I think that xTc have definitely the heroes to take this game. And I mean, it's not fun facing an Ember Spirit as a Templar Assassin, especially with a Riki that's probably going to be on you constantly. But at the same time, you're going to have Doom Bunny rotating with that Crystal Maiden, securing that lane. And as long as Depi stays out of range and uses his side blades, he should be just fine against that Ember Spirits. But anyway, Jabba, I abnegate the privilege of introducing these players over to you.
Well, it is definitely going to be a privilege. This may be the last game, but as a caster, we don't want that to happen. As a spectator, we don't want that to happen. And as a fan, we want to Dota all night long. So let's hope xTc have what it takes to make it the whole 9 yards and take at least a game from WRG.
It looks like Schlinks is trying to be sneaky, maybe going to try sneak in for that bounty run.
Well, with the Riki on the board, definitely does make it super, super interesting. The question is, I don't think he's going to do it. He's already got 2 sentries. He's not even going to commit to it. If they drop the sentries near the bounty, the question is, do you use the sentry to actually try and catch the Riki in the early parts of the game?
No, the problem is with the Darkseer as well as Depi on the Templar Assassin, it's going to be really hard to kill this Riki, you know, just with them too. They don't have much lockdown to speak of. They could surge Depi up though, that is an option, but you would rather keep your sentry for mid. Trying to deny Depi from blocking his creep wave. Really good plays there.
Oh, the cheeky plays.
That's going to set him at a little bit of a disadvantage at mid now.
Well,
He's going to have to try heads up on the high ground against an Ember Spirit who has obviously leveled up that Flame Guard first.
And beautiful blocking Castaway getting a decent start already. The creep's right on the top of the ledge. But Depi taking back control in the mid lane, pulling the creeps down the hill. But Schlinks, he's in the vicinity. They're going to pop that refraction really quickly and already putting a lot of pressure on to Depi. We've seen the monster he can become on this Templar Assassin. They drop the sentries. Who can deny it first? And both going down. But surprise, surprise, Schlinks has got a backup.
He's definitely got a backup. Got those tangos ready. He is ready to just munch up any wards he can find. And I must say, having the Riki roaming with that early orb of Venom is definitely not fun. I mean, the poison range slow, the poison melee slow is just significant, and it lasts, damage per second is about 5, but it does count. I mean, the slow 12% at level 1, at this point of the game, it's not fun to deal with, and especially when you have an Ember Spirit on top of you as well. But like I said, I mean, predicted either DotA and Die, or, of course, the Doom Bunny is going to be helping out this TA in the mid lane consistently for the first couple of minutes.
Oh, can they
Trying
get
the
this courier?
Oh, DotA and Die is there to maybe, like, you know, babysit this courier.
Oh.
Oh, there we go. DotA and Die is going. Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Are we doing it? Are we doing it? Oh,
he still goes for it. Schlick's going to get it. He does. The cheeky little bugger destroying the courier. There was nothing in it, but still, it is down for a significant amount of time, and it is going to cause a little bit of a problem for the side of xTc. Skynet having a little bit of a tough time in the top lane, actually resorted to the jungle a little bit. And already in the mid lane, a little bit of a tussle here. Depi and Castaway very low. Do they have what it takes? Can Castaway get that searing chains off? And he's going to hold on to it for the moment.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sorry, I've been watching Schlinks. First he takes the bounty rune. Now he's just sitting casually next to Skynet, sapping up that XP. And of course, you get 20% less XP in the jungle right now.
Chadawi.
What's
Chadawi in the top
doing?
lane could be in a lot of problems here. Here comes the Jewel Breath. Chadawi, is he going to be able to survive through it? He doesn't have any mana for the Malefice. First blood could be Chadawi. It is. DotA and Die sneakily finding him out. You may have a Riki on your team.
But you have a casual inverse rune on that Jakiro.
OP baby.
Yeah, that was definitely worth. I mean, DotA died taking a bit of a chance, seeing if he could find anything in the jungle, knowing the Enigma is there. I mean, it's pretty obvious he's not in lane. So taking a chance to see if he's actually at this point. But I must say, he's doing quite a bit of work here, stacking up the Ancient Camp, but we do have a little bit of an engagement mid here. Riki trying to get a kill onto Depi, almost succeeding actually. Depi now sitting at about 180 HP mid, but is Chadawi going to go down yet again?
No, he's going to be able to walk it off, taking a lot of punishment from showing themselves to the 3 here
and he
from the
just
side
came
of
back.
xTc.
He just came back.
No, he has to go back again. And remember, shrines do not spawn until the 5-minute mark. So he has to make his way back to base if he wishes. The shrine is not available for the next couple of minutes. 82 seconds to be precise. A little bit of an issue there for him. But, I mean, Enigma, he's going to be in that jungle, going to abuse the new updates and really get his farm maxed out as much as he can. The Fury effect. This is the 9th time CM has been picked in the tournament with 63% win rate. Could this be what it takes to bring down WRG?
Shame, man. Poor Fury. Apparently, like, you know, he came out and saying, oh, he had to play this Crystal Maiden 5 games in a row. But apparently he picked playing this. But oh no, Templar Assassin now in huge amounts of trouble. Depi probably going to go down here.
Beautiful rotation coming in here from DotA2. Not going to be good enough.
No ice path.
Doesn't actually have a point into meld, so he can't even disappear. The Flame Guard would have eaten through him anyway.
Yeah.
And he does go down.
And also, of course, no ice path onto DotA and Die over here. So can't even stun the people up. But he was taking a lot of tick damage.
It's one of the punishments for being a mid. You've got to be prepared. Having this Ricky on the field, I mean, he's already level 3 at the moment. And I mean, Doom Bunny on the Crystal Maiden, level 3 as well. And Ricky's hardly been in lane. So the effectiveness that he's getting done around the map.
He's been sapping XP here from the off lane onto the Skynet. I mean, every time he goes into the jungle, he's been taking the bounty runes, he's been taking the XP from the creep camp, so getting his levels elsewhere in the map, also making key rotations here. I knew this was going to be a huge problem for poor Depi. And I feel like the Crystal Maiden should probably just rotate more than the Jakiro, since she has got that freeze. She can root someone up. They can't get next to her. But the de-warding war continues mid. I mean, Depi put a sentry down. Schlinks just ate it up yet again and put his own one down. But here we go. The rotation. Another de-warding war here. And they're going to secure it.
Well,
this time, Doom Bunny
this time
coming in.
they get it.
Yeah. Let's freeze this Ricky up. Stop eating my sentries, please. I need to be able to see you.
Chitawi in a bit of a problem. Jewel Breath comes out, going to slow him down at a stand. Going to be able to right-click him down. And that snacks up another kill here in the bot lane for the xTc squad. Well, you know what was really, really fantastic here from Schlinks? His rotations actually spotted out this camping here.
Yeah.
Pings it out again. So they know that the side of xTc is really focusing on actually stacking creeps, trying to get those.
There we go with the bounty rune steals.
The jungle and Schlinks.
Skynet, he needs to get a sentry down there, man. This Ricky keeps sapping his XP, keeps taking his bounty runes. It's really, really, really abusing this. And not only that, it's going to take a long time for Skynet to, well, not long time, but longer for Skynet to come online like this.
Well, I mean, a silly stat that the panel was actually bringing up that the Darkseers only had one win throughout the event, and it hasn't been the greatest showing for a Darkseer. I mean, teams still prioritize it. xTc this time pick it up and put it on Skynet. Do you think it's the hero that xTc should have moved to? It hasn't had the best. I mean, we've seen in a couple of games previously. I mean, you've had the perfect vac, the perfect wall.
No follow-up. That's the problem.
Do you think that was the biggest thing? Now having a spec, being able to haunt in, get that additional damage is going to be what it takes.
Look, there's a lot more follow-up potential here for the Darkseer. I mean, first of all, you've got the Crystal Maiden ulti. You've got the Jakiro with a massive amount of spells in his arsenal as well. And then, of course, I mean, the Psyblades are going to work out perfectly with a perfect vacuum wall. It's going to be doing massive amounts of damage. And as you said before, the Spectre Haunt, especially once he gets that Radiance up, it's going to be doing a lot. But, oh no, Depi in more trouble over here. The silence comes down.
Oh, he could go down. Still doesn't have Meld. And DotA and Die TPing in. He may go down here as well. To the onslaught here from the two of WRG. Doom Bunny does come in, does root down Castaway. Not going to be good enough, but now comes in the horn from Adestam. They want to chase down the Ricky, and I don't think Adestam's going to get anything from the Schlinks trying to body block him out. And the xTc squad lose 2
unfortunately
from that little tussle there, and actually TPing in to no avail. Losing the side, 2 of their players here from the side of XT.
And unfortunately, XTC. I mean, that TP coming out just a little bit too late, and basically.
Oh, they're going to punish him again.
Come on, guys.
The Searing Chains come out. The Sonic Trap trying to do some work. He's making it up again. He does this time. Schlinks picking up the kill. Absolutely punishing the mid lane.
These supports are just getting here way too late. I feel like one just needs to sit in the mid lane with Depi, babysit him, because they just keep doing the same thing. And to add injury to insult here, you've got now a haste rune on the Castaway. And he's almost got he's going to have a very, very fast veil here if things continue like this.
I mean, this is absolutely a devastation here for xTc. Deppy had an amazing TA run in the previous series, and this time round, Castaway schooling the side of xTc on how the mid is to be run. But let's not forget, had a big help from Schlinks on that Ricky. Absolutely devastating.
This is what a Ricky needs to do. This is what he is built for. I mean, he's just so good at rotating, and especially with that early smoke screen, it is really, really hard. I mean, leveling up the smoke screen, all three points now to Cloak and Dagger. So, I mean, his fade time on Invis is very, very short, but he's going to go looking and hunting here with the rest of his team.
14% win rate with Darkseer.
Yeah, I mean, they've been smoked up. They've just popped smoke here. Whelp's looking for a kill. Judawi's got level 6.
Oh, they're going to find Doom Bunny. Crystal Maiden, you cute little beauty. You are going to suffer. You're going to go down. And Whelp is going to take you to the ball.
Do you think they just man mode this since they do have Black Hole up? He is mannering up. He hasn't got enough for Black Hole currently. Almost there. Needs a little bit more mana. They're going to try.
DotA and Die, a little bit of a problem. They don't drop down the smoke screen. The cooldown comes out. They're trying to ping it out. Let's move back. DotA and Die, very low HP. Whelp making some magic happen here. Everything's on cooldown. They still do clear out DotA and Die. The root does come down onto the Crystal Maiden. Skynet gets punished. He goes down. Four still alive here for the side of WRG. Adestam gets Searing chained up. He's been rooted out. He goes down to the likes of Chadawi. Denies the triple kill. And now our poor Crystal Maiden hiding in the sidelines. Whelp wants to find him out. And he gets the blink off Schlinks. He's going to help out here. And Doom Bunny, does he get spotted out? Whelp super close to him and he finds him out. And that is a super unfortunate story here for the side of xTc. We're sitting 9-2 at the 10-minute mark, taking a look at our net worths.
5K already.
Whelp on the top of the charts, followed closely by Castaway. The side of xTc slowly losing grip on this game.
It's really difficult, especially now with the tower going down here at the 10-minute mark. I mean, that Ricky should not have survived that. He got away with absolute murder there. Lack of detection. You just can't do anything.
No, it was a super unfortunate scenario. WRG didn't lose a single player there. Perfect aggroing on different heroes. Didn't lose a player.
Of
I mean,
course,
if we could get a replay on that, that would absolutely be fantastic.
Yeah.
And Black Hole still
yeah,
cool
that's
down.
what I'm saying. The big Black Hole didn't even come out there. It's just like, you know, I mean, Chadawi was literally clareting up there just to have the Black Hole available and didn't even need to use it.
Oh, but look at the stack here. This is a massive stack.
This is a massive stack.
Schlinks, he's going to get close. They have dropped the sentry. They're going to spot out Schlinks. They're going to use the haunt. Castaway trying to get in here to try and steal what he can. Doom Bunny going to pay with his life. And now Castaway, he may be in a little bit of problems here. At the same time, Adestam getting chased down here by Chadawi. The Ether Shock does come out from Santo, making easy work of him. And now Castaway still surviving through TA. He's going to lose the stack. This is a problem for the side of xTc, as now WRG are hunting down the side of xTc. The cooldown gets used out. DotA and Die get spotted out. The Shackles is good. And Schlinks getting that backstab off and taking down the life of our poor DotA and Die.
I always love to believe teams can come back, especially at a disadvantage, but a 8K net worth lead on the team at 12 minutes is damn scary. I mean, yes, you have the Darkseer, you have the Wombo combo of the Darkseer Sideblades, you have the Spectre comeback, but unfortunately, Spectre in this patch was very, very much nerfed. I mean, Haunt a full minute longer at level 1. 180-second cooldown at level 1. That puts Spectre at a huge deficit. That's a huge nerf to him. And I mean, like, the comeback mechanic for Spectre is not as great as it used to be. Yes.
Castaway spots out Skynet.
Doom Bunny
bursts him down with the remnants in the mid lane, though. They want to continue on. DotA and Die under pressure. Deppy trying to hold out. The Midnight Pulse is down. And they're going to try and get away.
Doom Bunny's still evading this Ricky. Schlinks is looking for this poor Crystal Man. She's got the dust available, not quite level 6, but waiting for that TP to come off cooldown. It's on cooldown, almost 5 seconds. He's gonna find him again.
Finds him out, and Doom Bunny does go down. That is
smoke screen OP right now.
I mean, especially against a hero that needs to cast his abilities to root them out so they can get away. It didn't happen. And eventually losing Doom Bunny on that cuddly Crystal Maiden.
Yeah, like I said before, this is going to be really hard to come back from. I mean, you can try pull off some wombo combos, maybe try and make it happen, try create space for your Spectre, but at this point, it's extremely doubtful.
You know what?
Unless they throw really hard, but have you ever seen WRG throw? Ever?
No, they're very composed. They hold their heads. They've been in this situation many times. All of a sudden, Doom Bunny just randomly in the lane. Castaway finds him out, takes him down super easy, and this is going to translate into a top tier 1 tower being brought down here for the side of xTc. They're going to lose this tower. Big problem here for them.
Yeah, and I mean, Deppy, that stack, I mean, he really needed to take that to gain some advantage back. But unfortunately, I mean, that stack got interrupted and they lost that team fight horribly. Look, he did try to take what was left of the stack, but I mean, it's a bit late now. They really did try get Deppy a bit of ahead, but I feel like if they just looked after him a little bit better mid, the TP rotations from the sports were always too late. Most of the time, TPing is a death themselves, and Jakira goes down in mid in the meantime. But this is pretty much devastating, and
yeah, it's a big problem. They're trying to defend the high ground now. In the mid lane, they did take down DotA2 on the twin-headed dragon. Santo trying to see if he can get into position so he can help push down this top tier 2 tower while trying to clear out the wave. Castaway in the vicinity, ready to rock and roll. They're doing a huge amount of damage here. They've got some team plays here in the middle. Black Hole is down. Santo coupling that up with the shackles. The ether shot comes out. They lose Deppy. He's down. Castaway jumps in, trying to work down Alistair and pops up the blade mail. The root comes out. They're trying to work on Santo. Not going to happen. Urn of Shadows is on Alistair. He does eventually take down Santo. Now, Chadawi, he decides he wants to go back in. The freezing field comes down. Shrinks TP's in. He doesn't have the smoke screen. He's going to go down. Welp, he's fighting under the freezing field. He's going to take a huge amount of damage. But the homing missile trying to take down DotA2. He still does go down. But Welp, with a very low HP, losing 3 players here from the side of xTc and 2 from the side of WRG.
Yeah, and I mean, Adasim is trying here. I mean, he's going for that early blade mill to try and evade some of the damage, try return some of the damage, and also discourage people from going on him. But it just feels like he can't get much accomplished trying to get that Radiance up now, but he's so far behind. And the fact that there's such aggressive wards now in the enemy enemy jungle, in the xTc jungle, I mean, how is he going to get the space created here? But you see what the blade mail does, right? It discourages people from going on him. So definitely the key item choice here. Yeah. Even now with
the root. Beautiful vacuum under the smoke screen though. The wards come down. Shrinks TP links in. Castaway gets a monster kill. He wants more. Skynet goes down. And now our poor Crystal Maiden, she's been hunted down. Shrinks very low HP. The liquid fire eating through the HP here. And now DotA2 are going to try and TP out. Is there something to stop him? No, there's not. He gets out. And our poor Deppy down. Our Skynet down. We've lost the Santo, but it may just be enough to take down this tier 2 Shlinks hiding in the back lines with 77 HP.
I had so much high hopes for that, though. Like, I mean, we had Iron Shell on the Spectre, the Blade Mail. You know, things could have gone a bit differently there. But, I mean, Ricky, once again, Shlinks on the Ricky, getting away with murder. I mean, he escaped that team fight at that point with, I think it was 25 or 30 HP. I don't know if we have a replay of that fight. I would just love to see exactly what went down there.
Right, so, I mean, Castaway is an absolute monster. What went wrong was Castaway.
No, I know what went wrong. The point is I would just love to see how exactly, because there were so many different things happening there. You know, it's really hard to focus on, you know, one certain thing. You know, sometimes you miss like 1 or 2 things that you should have seen, but that's why the replays are great this tournament. And I must say, well done production. They've been absolutely great with these replays.
Did you see that stat that just came up? 29 for 4.
Yeah.
Absolutely devastating stats on the Ember Castaway.
The Ember Castaway, boys and girls.
Right, I think the replay is ready.
Awesome.
Hit action, baby. And look at that. Santo getting caught under the smoke screen, keeping him alive. The Ice Path trying to hold him out, not going to be good enough. And Ember Spirit just making easy work there of Skynet. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. Things looked really well, and then things just went completely pear-shaped. Yeah. For the side of xTc. Easy TP out.
Easy TP out. They didn't have any more disable there, but I mean, getting those important kills, TA being the most important out of that.
Mid lane though, Santo gets frozen out under the macro pyre, but Deppy in the snakes, Welp jumping into the freezing field. They do lose Deppy. and he's managing. Oh, they lose Adestam as well. Doom Bunny roots out Castaway, but Doom Bunny's also rooted out. And 3 here, going to be putting pressure on the side of xTc. Chadawi hiding in the backlines. He's got a black hole locked and loaded, ready to jump on the 2 alive here from the side of xTc. Could this be the moment? Could this be the time that that WRG move in to the winners? Is this the time xTc have lost? The black hole comes
the
in.
black hole
They
diving
find
deep.
Dota and die. They find Scarnet. They lose 2. Crystal Maiden is alive. She's coming back in. Castaway doing some damage. It may force the team to actually retreat. The cooldown comes down. They're going to now lose the Templar again. Deppy goes down. Doom Bunny going to get burst out from Castaway. Instantly TP's out. Adestam cleans out the Shlinks. Now Castaway in a bit of trouble. Doesn't have mana, but he pulls back. And Adestam deciding just to defend higher ground. They do. They hold. xTc Dreams are still alive for the moment.
Well, you know, they could have taken the racks, but they decided to have a little bit of fun and dive the tier 4s.
Well, they could have some fun, and yeah, I don't think that would have been.
That was just disgusting. And I mean, Santo just casually pushing a tower on his own here. Doesn't have the wards up quite yet, but I mean, he's going to have to get out of here if he doesn't want to become food himself.
Well, I mean, this could be that moment where we say, well, let's create spate. Guys, I'm going to go bot, bait them out, and let the rest of you jump into the Rosh pit. There isn't much vision around that pit. Let's just take a look here.
Yeah.
This is the vision here for the side of xTc. This is the vision for the side of WRG. A very big comparison and a very big difference coming out here for the teams.
Oh, this is just...
I mean,
if you can't get lucky enough, look what just spawned at Rush.
Double damage, but I'm more interested in bot Santo.
Yeah.
Still really trying to put pressure on this tier 2.
He's baiting hard, isn't he?
Well, he does have the mass serpents up. He's maybe trying to push it out.
Oh.
Shlinks is in the vicinity. Skynet says, right, we're going to try and find you out. There comes the vac. Doesn't actually latch into the ice path, so he's actually going to be able to get away free of charge. Shlinks just throwing down the smoke screen just in case he needs to actually protect out his teammate Santo there.
I think they were looking for a solo pick-off there with the Riki as well as the Shadow Shaman, but killing off the Darkseer as well as the Jakira is a bit ambitious.
Well, I mean, things at the moment, xTc, let's take a quick look at our graphs. Things do get exciting. It's a plus 15,000 for WRG, and same in terms of experience. Hold on to your hats. The Mad Serpents have been dropped. They are going to look at taking down this tower. We do have Deppy get sheep hit out. The horn comes in. The cooldown is down. Adestam Shlinks dodging the damage with the tricks of the trade. Dota and Dar goes down. Doom Buddy goes down. Whelp, beyond godlike, getting himself a monster kill. Castaway, an absolute travesty, killing everything. And now Skynet trying to get out of there. And that Malefus doing so much work. In the meantime, Castaway doing some hectic work here in the backlines. But Skynet's going to be able to survive through it with the help of the Shrine.
I must say, I must commend Skynet as well as Doom Bunny on that play. I mean, beautiful vacuum wolf coming up from Skynet. Almost a full duration CM ulti as well, dealing out massive amounts of damage. But unfortunately, it just didn't work out for them in the end.
Well, look at the swing gold. I mean, we're still looking. xTc still gained 2.2 thousand gold extra on top of it for their fight.
They killed the all-important carry, and of course the Riki. Finally, we get to kill the Riki, guys. No, but honestly, that was a really good fight coming out from them. Very good attempt, but I believe we do have a replay available. I would love to see it again.
Right, well, here we go. They drop down the wards. Immediately, the sheep comes out onto Deppy. They've completely shut him down. Freezing field, called down. This is World War III, people. The wall comes down, but Whelp is just too ridiculous.
That CM ulti did so much damage, and of course the wall finishing it off, but I mean, really good plays coming out from xTc. It's just, unfortunately, couldn't accomplish any more. Santo!
Deppy, in a huge amount of trouble, gets forced forward. But now Whelp trying to find Scarnet. He cancels the black hole! Oh my gosh, almost surviving. They do lose Skynet, though. They lose Deppy. I mean, this is the point where you'd want to say, let's get a Lotus Orb up onto Deppy. Let's get a Lincoln's. Let's get a BKB. Because Santo is having his way with the TA.
Easier said than done. Where are they going to find the gold for this? I mean, this is the worst I've seen Deppy in a long time.
Well, the snakes come down. Castaway jumping forward. There's the Remnant getting aggressive. The Midnight Pulse is down. They do still clear out Doom Bunny. Super soft. Schlinks dropping down the smoke screen. The Shackle trying to do some work here. At a stam in a big amount of trouble here. Homing missile comes out. Schlinks takes him down with the help of Whelp. But now we've got the Tornado Dragon trying to do some work. Schlinks getting the strike. And now Whelp surviving with very low HP on the sidelines. Deppy, can he find the kill here? At a stam, brought back. They've got the ward down. Can they get out? Schlinks blinks forward. Shadawi going to try and body block out. Midas is up for the sake of it. They do take him out, but they do lose the mid lane racks. And slowly but surely, WRG are knocking at the door of xTc.
No, he could have possibly got another kill if he haunted. Maybe after killing off the Enigma, he could have possibly killed Whelp as well. But maybe just preserving the haunt for the next initiation. If he really needs to escape or initiate or get away, he really needs to keep that haunt up, especially since it's such a high cooldown at the moment. Now sitting at 150 seconds, slightly better than 180, but still it's a long cooldown. You don't just want to waste haunt for a pick off that, you know, could potentially mean not much, because I mean they just got the Whelp's killing spree, so he's not that much gold right now.
Yeah, well, I'm just having a look, a way to kill Castaway, and Deppy in a little bit of okay, he TP's out immediately. He's super close to his blink. He's about 40 gold away. Something he's been dying for to get this whole game, something to allow him to initiate. But I mean, look at this cheeky ward over here in the base of xTc, completely spotting out the rotations.
Why not?
I mean, if you've got it, so why not have it?
And it looks like Castaway and Whelp are deciding to just, you know, solo rush here by themselves. Almost got it down. They need a little bit more damage here, I feel. Here comes Ricky.
Castaway Dagon.
Castaway Dagon. Yeah.
Oh, with the Veil, he's absolutely hitting so hard at the moment. Schlinks, he's got his diff played up. He's just picked that up.
Such a dirty build. I mean, Veil of Discord Ember is harsh enough. Then you add a Dagon to that. Sitting now at level 3. He's got a level 4 in his inventory right now. Almost.
Oh, Vax gonna pull back Santo. He's gonna explode to the love of the Deppy. And he goes down mid lane though. They're going to find Dota and Die, trying to do some work as Schlinks blinks in. Drops down the smoke screen, and Whelp making easy work here of Dota and Die. So they trade support for support.
Yeah, support, definitely support for support. But, you know, at this stage, when you're trying to defend high ground, you need 5 heroes. It doesn't matter. Support's good. Oh, no!
Oh my gosh, can you say goodnight, sweetheart?
Jeez, you know, like, that's just dirty. Veil of Discord, Side of Fisted, straight Dagon.
Wait until
that poor
E-Blade
Crystal
comes online.
Maiden. I don't think there's going to be time for E-Blade. I think, like, if they kill Dasimir after buying back in the last team fight, it's game.
Smoke screen comes down, Path is out. They're going to try and make some magic here.
Huge black hole.
Dagon onto Deppy. We do lose Adastam, and WRG are cleaning up and taking names. This may very well be the end of the series, an end of an era, as WRG make easy work of xTc. The Aegis is down, and WRG are clearing out the bottom lane of racks of the xTc base.
Guys, this is game. I mean, the Spectre buying back in the last fight. Now dead again, and does some with no buyback. This is game. This is so game. I mean, if it wasn't game already, like, you know, 10, 15 minutes ago, it is now officially game. This is GG. But I don't think they're going to call it. I think they're going to let them end.
Well, as true champions, xTc is going to...
They're making them work for it, boys. They've just glyphed. They're respawning. They want some more.
Well, Crystal Mating being super sneaky. Doom Bunny coming in from the backlines. They take down the tier 3. Castaway finds out the CM. Gets rooted out, but the CM is down, creating a bit of space. They drop the ice path. Scarnet's going to drop the wall. Is it going to be enough? The call down comes through. Deppy trying to right click out, takes down Santo. They do lose Skynet. Is there more to follow up? There's slide of fist from Castaway, trying to work on Deppy. He's actually melded up. They can't see it.
Oh, wait, here comes a Dastan. He's hungry.
Whelp going to TP out. The ice path comes down. They're going to hold Castaway in place for the moment. Does he have enough to get out? He's going to TP to his Remnant. Dota and Die, tricks of the trade. From Schlinks, Shadawi helping and working. The Dagon from Castaway. And he takes down Adastam with that cheeky little Dagon build.
And there's your GG. I think they just wanted one more go at the boys.
In the words of Wilson Triple XL, damn, I love my job. And WRG take the championships Well done to the boys. The end of an era and the end of the event. Handing over to the side of the panel.
Okay, and
Where do I look?
you look at me into my eyes. So move your chair that way. More. Tell me, how's the game?
It's pretty straightforward. I really enjoyed my captain's drafts, played very well. I think the outcome was expected. We thought we had very strong drafts and we're on form right now, so very happy with the result.
How was your permanence? I mean, what happened in the game? Tell me more.
In the last game I thought it would be a good idea to just go Dagon 5 and just kill CM every fight, and it seemed to work out, so very, very happy.
Tell me about the strategy.
We just basically pick heroes that we're all strong with and kind of come together and hope to not throw the game, and then we can win.
How does it feel to be winner of an event like this?
Feels pretty good, very, very happy. Hopefully the first of many to come. Hopefully.
Your teammates, what stood out?
Definitely Chadawi's drafting and just the individual skills all across the board, from Schling, Santo, Walp and everyone. It was very, very good, very good. Sweet.
Guys must go out. Shake hands.
Well, that's all she wrote for the grand final. Who would have thunk that? Nonetheless, it's time for the good one, the prize giving. Assisting me here is Johan and Lenusha, who are basically the big sticks around here. But without any further ado, let's introduce the third place winners, Energy Esports. Well then, it's been a long battle for you to get here. How would you describe your experience here at the DotA2 VS Gaming tournament?
Look, is this even on? Look, we came here to win, but obviously we only have ourselves to be disappointed in. Congratulations to xTc and WRG for coming first and second. They deserved it. And looking forward to the next one.
Fantastic. And those were your third place winners. But obviously we're not here for third place, are we? And neither are they. They ended up in second. Please welcome xTc. Right, well, again, very long battle for you coming through from the bottom rungs. You've managed nonetheless to get your second place. Tell me, how does VS Gaming and this tournament help bring you, your team, and the entire South African esports scene closer to the international scene?
Well, like, they helped us out with accommodation, flights. Like, I hadn't even met Aiden before this tournament this weekend, and like just like the prize money is also always like a good incentive to just like put in extra time, put in extra work, try and play better. And I think we were hoping for second place at the tournament, and we got there.
Well, congratulations. You got what you were looking for. A big round of applause for these boys. And what a warm crowd it is tonight. Nonetheless, we're here for the big ones, and people kind of said they saw it coming. Nonetheless, they deserve every bit of applause that you can muster. Please welcome WRG. Never gets old getting on the stage, does it? Well, you've made it. You've taken the top, and you aimed for the top, so you should be fairly damn happy with that. Nonetheless, here we are, and I have one question for you. Just one. What does winning the VS Gaming Cup mean to you?
It feels amazing. I don't know. It's always great winning like a final. It's really nice. So it's the first cup for us that we, as this team, played the Masters Cup. So it feels really great.
Right, and there you have it. Well, our champions stand crowned, and the second place is hurt, but they're still very happy. Third place, they want to come back with a vengeance, and they probably will. Keep your eyes peeled. In the interim, though, we're going to throw it back to you, my dear friend Halbert, on the panel.
Thanks very much, Wilson. It's well, I can hear the crowd in the background, still getting into it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been quite an experience. Yeah, I think congratulations are of course in order for White Rabbit Gaming yet again, impressing. I'm sure we can hear all of this in the background, but obviously
Silencio!
all of the spectators still pretty keen on cheering on our champs, and why not? I think WRG certainly deserved winners here, as we see the mascot, a pretty proud buddy in a pocket right about now. So yeah. Gentlemen, well done.
Little heart.
Right. The good news is, though, that although this pretty wonderful event has in fact come to an end, this won't be the last you get to see of it. We have a little bit of a montage for you that you can enjoy.
Is it like the other one that I saw like previously when I got so distracted I didn't hear anything you saw? Well, you said.
I think it could have been just like that, but perhaps we'll get a little bit...
I like montages.
Maybe a little less buttons and a little more people in this one, I believe. So perhaps why don't we go straight there and take a look at the montage of the VS Gaming DotA2 Masters. quite enjoyed that actually. It was nice sort of reliving those experiences one more time. Certainly a lot of memories in that little montage, ones that I will cherish quite fondly. The good news is, though, if you are a fan of, and I'm sure you are, a fan of the VS Gaming Masters, we have some pretty interesting news for you. So, although the Dota event has come to an end, of course, crowning WRG as your champions.
Cue the drum roll.
Thank you, Reddit, in the background. I feel like there's a severe lack of drums right about now.
Production, I need your help.
Nice.
Sorry.
So, yeah, of course, this event coming to an end, what a fantastic experience it's been. I would like to really, I guess, commend everyone for all the hard work that they've done here. But the good news is there'll be some more hard work that needs to be done pretty soon, as there will in fact be a CSGO VS Gaming Masters tournament happening next month. So if you're a CSGO fan as well, you have something very special to look forward to. However, that's the small news, guys. There's something far more epic in store, and that is in fact being touted as Africa's largest football e-tournament. And the conversations I've had in the background have suggested that this is something that is going to be mind-blowing, something we've never experienced before in the South African sort of esports community. And as you can see, there's going to be a large number of competitors involved in this one. So we will have a lot more information coming out in due course, but something to look forward to, and something I'm certainly going to look forward to. On that note, though, it is one of the sad but happy times. It's the time that we get to say thank you to everybody for this event, and also goodbye to them as well. So firstly, gentlemen, and I extend this, of course, to our co-casters and our interviewer, Wilson. Actually, he cast as well, so technically a caster. It's been really great working with you all. I really appreciate all the effort you've put into it, and I really look forward to doing so again. Thank you. Of course, our production crew, we have been so much fun. I really do. I look forward to these interactions every single time, and it's still going on right here. So you guys really are a special crew, and it's great to work with you again. And of course, to everyone behind VS Gaming as well, in particular, Johan and the team, you guys have done a fantastic job. Thank you so much for all the effort in making this happen for us. Last but not least, and of course, I know it's a cliche, but it just wouldn't be possible without all the individuals who support us. So thank you for watching this, and we hope that you'll join us again soon, because this is not a true goodbye, it's simply see you later. So on that note, one last time from us at the panel, thank you for joining us. Have a great night further. We'll see you next time. Cheers and goodbye.
Bye-bye.
We'll be right back.